Welcome to an Xbox podcast. I am your host, the Red Knight, and today we're going to be talking about a few things, including why is it that PlayStation fans always want everything exclusively on PlayStation. That's going to be the main topic. That's later. Headlines, though, we talking about two classics coming to Nintendo Switch Online, and the response to it mainly is what I want to talk about. Yes, Goldensun is back in the zeitgeist, which is crazy to see because this is, a different Nintendo. We're going to talk about it. And of course, we're going to talk about what you're seeing right here, which is Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, which comes out on Monday if you got the deluxe edition. And yeah, this is the demo on Xbox Series X. I played that thing about, I want to say, 4 times. And yeah, I loved every second of it, and I can't wait for the actual full experience. So, when this game was first shown off, let's start there. You said I nearly said the recipe podcast? No, I actually didn't. Last week I definitely did though. Last week I almost said it. These podcast changes take a while to get used to. But Prince of Persia. Oh yeah, shout out to Ipster in the chat. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown right now has been getting rave reviews everywhere. 9.5s, 10s, 9s is what I basically been seeing as a norm. So anything in the 9s and up is the norm for this game. Now, do you remember the response to this game when it was first shown off? Because I do. You remember all the racism? Remember that? What was it? The Prince of Persia of Bel Air. Remember that one? That they had that trending. It was a lot of talk about Sargon, the main character here, right, and all of that. There was a lot of talk about the game being 2D. Yet, here it is, 9s, 9.5s, and 10s. The norm. What it usually is when it comes to this team, basically, because this is what happened with the Rayman games, Origins, Legends. So people didn't even care about the developer's caliber. This is how corny social media is when it comes to these gamers who only want a console war. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how corny they are. Like, a developer who was the last one who really had Rayman on the map gets put on Prince of Persia, who hasn't been on the map in years, since basically the GameCube, PS2, Xbox original days. Like, that's how long it's really been. Like, yeah, I know they came out with the 361, but that game was panned. And now Prince of Persia comes back looking like this. When I first saw this game, I said, this art style is fire. The main character, incredible design. Like, I love everything I'm seeing with this. And this is, after I played Metroid Dread, which was runner-up game of the year that year it came out. It only lost to It Takes Two because It Takes Two was like nothing else ever made, in my opinion. I stand by that. And yeah, it won a lot of Game Awards everywhere. But Prince of Persia, like, with this kind of love and care, these cinematics and everything, like, yeah, that's what you want from your favorite video games. And this comes right after also, because, it's fun to mention Metroid Dread, because obviously this is very much, like that. It's a Metroidvania game, but it's also like Dread. It's taking that Metroidvania, that 2D thing, and putting a real budget behind it and making something incredible. But you could say the same thing when it comes to Mario Wonder. Mario Wonder just came out and did crazy numbers, got crazy love. But even that, people was like, oh, what's the big deal? It's a 2D Mario game. Like, I know it's been years since the last 2D Mario game, official last 2D Mario game, not saying that was a maker game, right? It was, over a decade. But damn, it's like, yo, like, can you be that out of touch to not see, like, this game right here when they first showed it? Like Mario Wonder, like, these games was going to be fire. Metroid Dread. Remember when people was questioning Metroid Dread's graphics and all that? Like, are you out your mind? They basically married 2D Metroid with Metroid Prime, and any goodness that Metroid not Dread, Metroid other M had, any aspect of good that it had, they definitely took it and applied it to this. And yes, I'm bringing up that game, which I don't like at all, but you can't deny that they had their style and their pizzazz and all that, like that right there. Look at that. Ooh, come on, man. 2D games are mad fun, especially Metroidvania ones. And this one right here, the mechanics are absolutely incredible. But I'm gonna get to that. Yo, Wolves Den, Wolves Den. But it's like, dude, give yourself a second to think when these games are revealed. Like, I can't believe that this game that now you and me both know is gonna go down in history, right? Like, oh yeah, Prince of Persia. Oh, like people gonna want a sequel to this. While a lot of people still gonna be like, oh yeah, I want that remake because everybody always want remakes. Make a remake of Ocarina of Time, or make a new Zelda game like Ocarina of Time. Like those old school 3D Zelda games, and not open air like Tears and Breath of the Wild. People be scared to say they want new things, because nostalgia. But I'm glad we got this. I'm glad we got this character. I'm glad we got this cast of characters. I'm glad that it's in the genre it is because Prince of Persia started as a 2D game. So it, adopting the Metroidvania aspect is perfect because you still got everything that made the original 2D Prince of Persia's what they were, which is spikes and shit that kill you with one go and things like that. Like, yeah, look, it's all there. It's all there. It's just more. It's new. It's better. And people saw this and they was scared. You said, did the stream crash? I don't know. It's still up for me. Refresh. Dark Sun Rider. So yeah, like I'm super happy that the game came out and lived up to what it looked like. I know Dark Sun Rider got his deluxe edition pre-ordered, as do I. I actually found the outfit from the deluxe edition. I don't know if you found it in this Dark Sun. Did you find the whole original Prince of Persia outfit? Well, not original, but the Santa Tom style one. Like, it was in there, which was really cool. And I thought I was gonna have to wait till I got the actual game to see the character wearing the outfit, but no, I found it in the demo. You'll see me find it actually in a second. Yeah, I was trying to find all the secrets that I could, going to all the nooks and crannies. Yeah. Oh yeah, the 2D disrespect is crazy. Like, it's absolutely crazy how disrespectful they are. But let me just talk about these mechanics real quick in this game. The fighting, I love it. The dodging and the parrying attacks, I love it. Like, when these dudes shoot arrows, you can actually block them and they bounce back and hit them. That's awesome. I like that you got the tap to shoot your arrows or your 5 if you got that certain charm. But I'll get to the charms in a second. But if you got 5, like you could just tap it, or if you hold it, it does the basically, I don't know, it's like a Xena blade. You saw it right there a little bit. It's like a Xena, yeah, you see it right there, and it comes right back at you. Remember Xena had her little blade that she would throw around and it would come back to her like Thor's hammer? That's what that reminds me of. But yeah, the mechanics a lot, like having the slide reminds me of Metroid Dread a ton. And fun fact, I played Metroid Dread for about 4 hours before this demo came out. Just because, I love Metroid Dread, and I'm like, I just want to compare it to that. And yeah, feels wonderful, feels great. Obviously different games because nothing is ever like Metroid because Samus got her own ability set, like the morph ball, and so the game is designed different. But nah, yeah, when it comes to the way the game feels, mechanic, it feels just as good. It really does. Like, it's really good. And this game actually is 100. Oh, you found it? Cool. Darkson found his armor set in there. It's 120 frames per second on Series X, PC, PS5, which is crazy. It's 60 on Switch, and runs great on Switch. I think what they said, who was that I watched? I think, well, yeah, it was Digital Foundry actually that they mentioned. The frame rate during the cutscenes is a little low on the Switch, but other than that, it's still a perfect port. And I'm like, that's amazing to hear, and that's good to hear. And this game actually is available on everything: Xbox One, PS4, like the previous consoles too. It's crazy. So you said Xena would be a good DLC collab. What? I will buy that in a second if they had Xena playable in the game. I'm dead serious. I will buy it. Yeah, but the little amulets and things that you get right here, which this is the moment where you saw me like put some on. Those are cool because you can make the game more difficult for yourself, or easier for yourself, and that's not without going into all the accessibility stuff, which I talked about on the last NX podcast. So it has like that Hollow Knight thing going with it, where it's like, oh yeah, if you add this amulet, you can have more of this. So that it's a give and a take thing. But then there's stores, like there's an old lady I find, and she sells like another slot basically for you to put other charms and things like that. And I thought that was really cool and adds depth to the game. Everybody has said that this game is like 20 something hours to beat. Some people even claim that it took them like 40 hours. And I said, yeah, well, if you're not used to Metroidvania, I could see it taking you a while because you got to figure out where you're going to go, what you're going to do. So to me, I was like, that just, makes sense. But I'm sure once people beat the game and start speed running it, oh yeah, they going to probably beat this game in a couple of hours, like 2, 3. It's usually like that with, the community that loves Metroidvania. Speedrunning is a giant aspect of it. And that's the thing. They got all those accessibility features in here, which is good. Oh yeah, look, you got these kind of enemies, right? There's multiple ways you could beat them. Like there's an amulet that you could basically do like a Wind Waker style dodge and then end up behind them and beat them up. And I used it on one of my playthroughs. I don't think I use it here, but yeah, it's really cool. Oh yeah, the super. I do sometimes I do it by mistake because I'm holding down the button, and once you press X, it triggers it. But it don't matter because it builds up super quick. It's mad cool. I love the level design. I love the backgrounds. Everything has mad depth to it. Darkson say you try to vote on the poll. Yeah, the poll for some reason on Patreon was broken, and that never happened before. And I even remade it, and it was still broken. So I was like, probably it's a glitch. That's why I put it up on YouTube so that people could vote in the community section there. But most people voted. Speaking of that, because the game is gonna come out on Monday, most people voted for no, don't use the bird amulet that shows you the secrets. And I didn't want to either because it's like that's something better for like when you want to play it on the harder difficulty or just a second playthrough. Or when you're ready to 100% it, you could throw that on. Like the Korok mask in Breath of the Wild and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, let me throw that on now so I can find more Koroks and stuff. So, or even the beeping for the shrines. I took that shit off in my first playthrough because I wanted to just find the shrines until I couldn't find them. And I was like, all right, now it's time I put it on. I'm already in the, 112 shrines. There's only a few more, something like that. So, yeah, this game, I like everything that they did with it. Like, mechanic wise, the fighting is crazy. The way the damn demo ends, it ends right on that giant lion looking boss. And right when the cinematic, like right when you're about to fight, it just triggers this long ass cinematic basically that's not part of the game. It's just a trailer. So it goes from cinematic that's gonna right about to turn into gameplay because you see the yellow parry button thing there, and right when you about to go press it, it just goes right into that damn trailer showing all the bosses, everything. You know what this reminds me of too? God of War, the original God of Wars, 1, 2, 3, the PSP ones, Ascension, like those kinds. But more so not even Ascension in 3. It's more like 1 and 2 because of the PS2 graphics. And I'm not saying this game got PS2 graphics. And if it was PS2 graphics, they had incredible PS2 graphics. But you know what I'm saying? Like it has this beautiful art style to it. And while it's not mature, it still got the vibes of those God of War games, which I think is the perfect vibes for Prince of Persia, like with the big statues in the background, all coming together. Obviously, time is still going to play a part in it because Prince of Persia and the Sands of Time is always a thing. Like it's real cool the way they went about this game and all of the different, all the different little features that they added. Like you got the bouncing off walls, you got the climbing on little ledge pieces that you can hold on to. Like they threw a lot of variety into this game already, and this is just off the demo, because every reviewer basically mentioned something like, well, let me not say every reviewer. The reviews I saw, which were from Game Explain and Xbox Era. Oh yeah, here's where I found my armor. It showed that, But then when you go on the menu, it was the arm, and I was like, oh, that's what's up. They put it in the actual demo. But yeah, the reviews I saw, they said you won't believe the abilities you get in this game like later on. And I'm like, cool. I don't want to let them spoil you. I look forward to seeing those myself. And it's good that they got crazy abilities. And hopefully, they add new ideas to the whole Metroidvania gameplay. Because, I mean, every time somebody makes a Metroidvania game now, I feel like you got to try to do something different and stand out. Because you got Silk Song on the way. You got actual dope Metroid out with Metroid Dread. So it's like, yeah, you got to stand out, especially after Metroid Dread. Because Metroid Dread was like, that was definitely Nintendo being like, listen, there was a lot of debate. Oh, could a 2D, Metroid game even work now in the indie era when so many indie games are doing it already? And even, some better than Metroid itself, than Metroid Dread. So I don't know about you. And I played Hollow Knight too. I played Guacamelee, like the best of them. There's a lot of good ones out there. Axiom Verge. But Metroid Dread to me was still better than all those shits. Because it's like what makes Metroid's level design is her ability set. The opening of the doors, the spider balls and all of that. Like, and everything they did with the Aeon abilities had you moving like, the princess moving right here with the zig and zagging across the screen. So yeah, they stepped it up for sure. They ain't let nobody come into their turf and just walk all over them, and that was beautiful to see. So I feel like Nintendo got to do that with a couple games. I feel like Xbox got to let Banjo come into the forefront. They got to let Crash Bandicoot and Spyro do their things. It's crazy to say that because Xbox own those now. it's crazy. Like, yeah, they got to listen. Xbox was known as the shooter box, right? And would anybody saying that today even sound like they from 2024? Like, oh, Xbox is the shooter box. And this is coming from somebody who just had a segment on the previous podcast talking about, they should make they Smash Brothers game a shooter game since they got so many shooters IP and they were known as a shooter box. But still, it's like Xbox now is Sea of Thieves, so much so that, people poor begging for that. It's Hi-Fi Rush. It's games like Minecraft and Minecraft Legends. It's games like what genres do they not do, right? Because you could go into Flight Simulator. They got a whole new Flight Simulator thing coming out that actually looks more gamey than what Flight Simulator actually is. It's less simulator. It feels, well, nah, you still simulating like saving people and putting out forest fires, but that shit actually looks genuinely like it could be captivating and keep my attention more than just like, hey, fly from this place to this place to this place. Like, if you don't have like this incredible love for aviation, you probably not gonna spend too much time with Flight Simulator, But now when they got like, oh no, there's missions you could do, like go to this country and put out these forest fires, or fly to this place. There's somebody stranded on Mount Everest and go get him, or something like crazy shit like that is wild. Oh yeah, this is one of the characters right here that gives you abilities. You can't tell me this don't look like something that you would have found, Kratos running into a room with a character, all these crazy abilities. Like, come on. This screams to me God of War, yo. Like, in the best way, in the best way. And it's cool to see that. And I know a lot of people compared this art style to what is called? Immortals Phoenix Rising, but yeah, it also still gives off God of War vibes to me. But I agree with the Immortals comparison, obviously. That's definitely there. You see that clearly. I wouldn't be surprised people from that team worked on this game, which that's only a good thing. Because that game was also well received. Some people was even claiming they enjoyed that game more than Breath of the Wild, I'm like, yeah, to each their own. You said who has the best air dash? Damn. Samus's is faster, I would say, than this one, but I don't know his full ability set. So I don't want to say. Maybe you could upgrade that and make it even like multiple zigs. But you said Mega Man from what? Mega Man X? Yeah, that one is good. X himself, he had the slide. Yeah, you see right here, I got a bigger quiver. I could hold five more arrows. It says something like that. So you're gonna expand your shit just like in the Metroid game. That's mad cool. And I'm glad that this is on everything, and not something that was just like Switch exclusive because, that audience, like Nah, more people need to get accustomed to paying $60 for legit top tier 2D experiences. Like, what's the last game I bought? Well, this, but not counting this. Damn, I've been buying matches. So let me not even that because the holidays just went through. But like, actually, fully priced. I'm saying Mario. I think Mario Wonder. Yeah, Mario Wonder. So I went from that to this. In between, for the same price, it was still on sale for close to the same price. I bought Modern Warfare 3, but yeah, like that's the thing. Like on Xbox now, you got a lot of variety, and I think a game like this now could sell definitely a lot better there. Which is cool. I think on Switch this is gonna do incredibly. You know what I'm saying? But I think overall, it being available everywhere, it being a great version everywhere. Yeah, I think that's gonna make this game do mad good. And I think all that talk about people. I put it like this: I feel like whenever they do get their shit together with the Sands of Time remake, they're gonna definitely hear when they reveal that game, you're gonna hear people like excited based off of this game. Oh, more Prince of Persia, but you're gonna hear people be like, "Damn, y'all want a sequel to Lost Crown," and I'm gonna be one of those too. Like I'll be excited for the Save the Time remake for sure, but I definitely am gonna want a remake, not a remake, a sequel, over a remake any day of the week, and I would definitely want a sequel to this game. I can already tell, because of this demo alone. Like I literally played it 4 times, 3 times back to back and then one more time, just like a few hours later, I said I'm gonna play through that shit again. And I never actually charged my thing up long enough to do this number 2 ability. I just thought about that right now. I looked at this thing like 4 times and never actually thought to what you got to do? Maybe store enough energy. Oh yeah, and by the way, like look at the way I'm moving around this area. Like this shit is smooth. And then so many areas is closed off. I'm trying to get everywhere. But look how like you got all this platform and stuff, and I'm just moving comfortably. Like you would think like, oh yeah, you've been playing this game for like 80 hours. Like, nah, it's just really smartly made, designed game. Like gameplay and all that. Like it's so good. It's so good. I can't wait for this game to come out. Can't wait for it, man. Like, action adventure is action and platformers married together. That's basically my favorite genre of games. Even in I would say shooting games. Like that's what I loved about Titanfall. Like Titanfall had a lot of platforming, like a Metroid Prime game. Doom games have mad platforming, especially Eternal, which I love that. That's why I love that game. And yeah, this is gonna do the same thing. Yeah, that armor looks sick on him, right? I wonder if they made more armor sets that they'll probably sell in the future. Imagine if they had DLC to this game, like other stories, like after you finish the game. What? That'll be crazy. It'll be cool too, because you won't have to wait too long for a sequel. And the way, how long they take to make games now, I'm always like, yo, do some DLC to your game before you move on to the next one. Because if you really like somebody's game, why wouldn't you want more, right? Like instead of having to wait, like, damn, we gotta wait, man, long for new DLC. So, for example, I'm gonna give you the perfect example, right? Super Nintendo Switch gets revealed this year. The only way I would want Tears of the Kingdom on that thing, like being shown off next to it, is if like, yeah, look, new DLC, and you could play it running way better on your Super Nintendo Switch. You know what I'm saying? And it'll even be crazy if they say, yeah, when you buy C1 Hit Death, that's classic Prince of Persia right there. If you buy Zelda on the Super Nintendo Switch, you basically get the DLC for free, since it's a year later or something like that. Like that'll be cool. So it's still full price there. And then people who got their Wii U, you hear me? Their Switch carts. It's like when they don't got to do what Wii U gamers had to do to get Zelda on a Switch, which is buy a whole new game. We should be able to just put that in the new console. It get bumped up resolution wise to whatever the new version is. And the DLC for us should just be, the $20 it would naturally be or whatever. Like that would be the perfect way to roll out Tears of the Kingdom again and make it feel like it's something new, even for the people who already ran through the game. That'd be crazy if they actually did that. But anyway, I got a lot of other topics I want to hit. So should I talk about? Well, I got the order here. Let me look at it again. I'm over here looking at this gameplay. This game, I just want to play it again. All right, so yeah. Because I wanted to segue from this into Goldensun. So the delisting. Yeah, I've seen these stories going around that supposedly a lot of games like Link to the Past, Tropical Freeze, Metroid Dread are being delisted. Like you ain't gonna be able to find physical copies no more, right? And I was just talking about and I mean, if you've been listening to every episode of the podcast, like you've heard me talking about the inevitable, right? You got Best Buy already getting rid of games, physical media space, DVD space, movies and all that, games, movies, everything. It's like, yeah, it's starting to look like, it's getting scary out here, right? Like, you can't blame nobody right now who decides, like, oh yeah, if Nintendo does a Super Nintendo Switch, an expensive one that has physical media and a cheaper one that isn't, or one that connects to the TV and has physical media, and one that's a handheld that's completely digital. Like, you can't really get mad at that. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why the digital PlayStation exists and the Series S exists, and there's the rumored Xbox Brooklyn, the updated Series S that's beautifully all digital. You know that one? Like, there's a reason for that. There's just so many people who just don't give a shit about physical media. So I saw that story, and what I saw trending had me laughing because look, it could happen. It could happen. But I laughed because I was like, shit ain't happening. I said, listen, if Super Nintendo Switch is coming out this year, like Game Shark, by the way, is rumored to have leaked the September release date. But if it's rumored to be coming out this year, whenever, September, December, May, I don't care, whenever it is, you think they're going to put out players' choices for Switch games? I doubt it. I could see them just reprinting Switch games if they actually get boosted up with Super Nintendo Switch boxes and be like, yeah, buy this. And it'll be like Nintendo Switch Classic, some shit like that. And it's the same game. Maybe you get like a $10 discount. Maybe you get $39.99. You know what I'm saying? And then you like, and I said, maybe you get that. But I saw people saying that like it's a certain, yes, this means we're getting played. And people like celebrating this shit. I'm like, y'all celebrating this. This is a horror movie for the people who supposedly were like, I don't like Game Pads because I want to own my games. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they taking away ownership. Which brings me to Goldensun and all the celebrating of Goldensun. Look at the celebrating people doing for that. Now, for example, right? And I know it's just a couple dollars. You could pay for it. But I don't. And I won't. Because I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? And I just always knew it was going to be like, yeah, and then where does it end? Oh, yeah, we added GameCube. So now there's a expanded version of it. And now this one is more. And it has Wii U. So we charging more. Like, I'm in for online. And that's when they have online play. Like, when I was like, oh, am I using it like that on the Switch? So I'm in for the online version, the cheapest one. But if you saw Goldensun or the Hoopla, they're like, yeah, come to this side, expansion side, because oh yeah, this is the ending right here. They do you dirty. It hurts just seeing it. Come to this side. Come, get this expansion pass so you could play these classics. When I see these games get delisted, I said the next time you're gonna fucking see them is gonna be in that same way, where everybody gonna be like, yes, they added, list them, Link's Awakening Switch version to Nintendo Online, right? And ownership out the window. I'm like, that's really what's being celebrated right now in two fashions, because people made up player's choice, and then people not even thinking about it. It's like, yeah, imagine if you could buy that game though, and you could just have it, but you can't. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. It's there. It's available. It's cool, but still, like, I don't know. Like, not having no ownership is weird. It's real weird. Oh yeah, by the way, I mentioned that I played Metroid, right? Oh, I capped that. So enjoy some brand new gameplay of Metroid Dread from literally like 2 days ago. Yeah, like I just looked at it like, that's crazy. You can't buy Metroid Dread no more, for real, for real. And I get it, you could get it digitally. right? You can get it digitally. But I'm just going to the people who are the loudest, and you got to understand the reason why I bring this up because I'm a Nintendo fan. So all the quarrels Nintendo fans have, whether it's towards PlayStation, whether it's towards Xbox, I heard them all. That's the best part of living that NX life. You get these all these sides comfortably, and you understand these two fan bases comfortably. And Nintendo fans was always throwing shade at series, you know, not even series. Well, they just threw shade at Game Pass all the time. But like, oh yeah, I want to own my games. They're like, what are you talking about? You can own your game. Oh yeah, I don't just want to rent my games. But here we are today, and everybody's excited to rent Goldensun. Now I look at this and I'm gonna have a whole segment, talking about what could come from these rumored partnerships that Nintendo has. But yeah, like I'm like new games is new for a limited time. Now it feels like, you know what I'm saying? Because does the digital version go away eventually too? You will probably guess, yeah. When the new console comes, that digital store, the Nintendo eShop, is just like the Wii, store and WiiWare and all that. All those things always ended. There was a cutoff point to all those things. So you would assume it'll be the same thing with the Switch, and then it's like, yeah, a new. I mean, you would assume. You don't want that to happen, but you would assume, and if they do that, then those games are gone now, even from digital storefronts eventually. And now the only way to get them will be through subscriptions. Got you. While you were screaming and crying and fake outraging, because it is factually fake. I just like bringing up all receipts from everyone so you can see how good Xbox actually is. Because, they'll never get the credit that they deserve. But it's like your fake outrage about ownership. And it's like, but technically, who's giving you the best ownership right now? Especially when you look at what's the game that's coming out on PlayStation? I forget the name of it because I ain't really tapped into that like that. But the one that's on PC, and on PC they don't got to pay for online. So a lot of PlayStation fans right now is crying because on PlayStation they got to pay for online. It's the same thing Xbox fans go through. You don't got to pay to play Sea of Thieves or Gears of War or nothing online on Xbox, PC, but Game Pass and stuff like that. But you do on the console, and that's just what it is in the console world. Xbox did that. That's who you got to thank for that. That's just the reality. And I'll just keep it 1,000 all the time. Like, it's okay to say the truth. That's their history. I ain't running from it. I ain't hiding from it. That's a reality. You could bring up Red Ring of Deaths, and that's why there was a giant gap between me rocking with Xbox before I came back and started rocking with them after basically 2015 when they announced backwards compatibility and everything. And I said, all right, this is a new Xbox. When I saw, okay, Phil Spencer really do got the keys to the city. He got the open bank. This is the Xbox we always wanted to see, one that actually looked like they were part of Microsoft. And now you see that, and that's when I started talking all that talk. Like, yeah, the future's going to be this, that. And now we living in it, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful because now you got receipts. Now people celebrate not no ownership. I'm just saying, I'm excited for Goldensun. As a person who's right now playing Sea of Stars, I looked at Goldensun and the first thing I said was like, yeah, bring that back. Bring that back immediately. Helldivers, yeah, Helldivers is the game. Helldivers, isn't it part 2? I'm like, yeah, bring that back immediately. But yeah, I want to talk about these Nintendo games real quick. Where was this story? I gotta find it because I want to actually give props to the person who actually broke the story. I read this obviously on Go Nintendo, but what was it? Yo, that Game Shark thing, y'all believe that? The September release? Matter of fact, let's talk about that a little bit. Y'all believe that in the comments? Post if you believe September for Super Nintendo Switch. Post if you believe it. All right, here we go. This is it. Got it. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I could see it. And if Game Shark is back, they would, if they're officially licensed, they might know. They might know, or they just assuming it's this year like we are, so they threw it in there to coincide with, and they're assuming November release of the new Nintendo console. That could have been in it too. It could come out for earlier or after. Wolves then said, I believe September. But not because of Game Shark. Then why you believe September? Just because? All right, so So this comes from Game Industry. Christopher Dring. He says that Nintendo, right, has had conversations with three different developers for partnerships on games in the IP. So second party. It's funny. I saw so many people mention this and nobody just mentioned second party. Like they forgot what second party was. Like, bro, second party, when Nintendo gets a team who they don't own, like Geist, like F-Zero GX, they got Sega. Well, that was a different thing because they did that whole Triforce thing, remember? It was three different teams. But whatever, it was the same thing. It was like a second party thing. It's like when they got the developers of Star Fox Assault. That was a second party situation. So they want to do that again. Bro, when I saw this, I was like, please let this be true. Because this is what I wanted to bring up with Goldensun. Imagine Goldensun is one. And I'm going to tell you why. I know in the thumbnail you see F-Zero. Yes, I'm going there because of F-Zero 99. Imagine F-Zero is one. I went there, yeah. But let's go back to Goldensun. We live now in the Nintendo world where, screw a Nintendo world. That's disrespectful. I'm going to say it even better than that because to just say Nintendo world is disrespectful. We now live in the Xenoblade world where in all realms of RPG fandoms, everybody looks when the Xenoblade game coming out. Oh shit, Xenoblade. Because it's one of those RPGs that rings bells in the industry. No different than when Final Fantasy was exclusive only to PlayStation and then rang bells in the industry. That's what I said. It's disrespectful to just say Nintendo. It's not. Xenoblade is in the conversation. If you was gonna mention anything like Kingdom Hearts or whatever the hell you want to mention, Xenoblade is in the conversation more than Chrono Trigger and all these things that got nostalgia in them. Goldensun in them, you know what I mean? Like nostalgia. Xenoblade is in the conversation. Now Xenoblade is Nintendo to bring it back to Nintendo. So many Nintendo fans play Xenoblade games. They love RPGs, turn-based RPGs and all that. Sea of Stars looks so gorgeous. So fun. Could you imagine Nintendo trying to woo that team or the Octopath team, which will most likely be the one that they will win because the Sea of Star Thieves, Sea of Star Thieves. You hear me? Sea of Star team, they're new and they're indie and stuff like that. So I could see them going after the team over at Square. This is what Nintendo do. This is what they did at Capcom. And then eventually they just took a spoon and scooped up all those developers and said, no more Onimusha for you. We taking all of them. And now they all make Zelda with the Zelda team and their old Zelda team. That's a story. It's a fun story. I wish somebody made a real documentary of how that shit went down. Because that was definitely a Jack move, 100%. That was, yeah, we're friendly. Damn, Onimusha director, you're great. And all of a sudden now he's directing Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom all these years later. Oh, he produced Skyward Sword and all that. No, he directed Skyward Sword too. So it's crazy. Let me see what you said real quick, Wolf, then, because I know you added to the conversation. You said March to September PR short month run is perfect in my head. Oh, yeah, for the Switch reveal. Yeah, it got to be tight. Keep it tight. I mean, you saw it, like announced. You saw it revealed, and now it's out. Like, it got to be fast like that. So you said Team Asano, Goldensun, is the dream Nintendo rescue the AA budget JRPGs. So wait, what did Team Asano make? Just Goldensun? They haven't made anything since? Because I don't know. Like, I really, Nintendo's weird. They'll have developers. Like, people always wonder, yo, where did the team go that made those 64 wrestling games? Yo, you remember those Style Savvy games? You mean the girls with the clothes? Yeah. Yeah, that's what they was making. And they thrived making that over those wrestling games. Shit is sad as a fan of, those wrestling games, but hey, it is what it is. Asano, Asano's the Octopath team and Bravely Default team. Okay. Yeah, that's the team who I'm saying. Like, that team, oh man. You know that they'll make that game sing graphically, new hardware. Oh my god. And I gotta bring this up. Hold up. The crazy thing is too that they've already worked on series consoles, PS5s and stuff, right? Because they ported Octopath games. I know it's on Xbox for sure, so I'm assuming they definitely put it on PlayStation too because it's an RPG. Like, yeah, that to me just says, yeah, they ready for that honor, and let them play the game and tell their own story. Maybe you got the creator of Goldensun, have him like head up the story and stuff, but like let the team like have fun, like let them go crazy. Basically, Mercury's theme, what you're seeing right here. You know, this is a first party game in a second party situation, and Mercury's theme did the same thing with Castlevania. Mercury's theme is a funny ass team because they literally are Metroidvania through and through. It's like, what are they known for? Castlevania. What else? Metroid. Wait, what are they known for? Metroidvania. Shit, that's crazy. But what a lucky ass job to land. Two lucky ass jobs to get to land those two things. And not only that, their Castlevania game, it was produced by Kojima, so they got to work with him, a legend. That's the craziest part. But yeah, he said Nintendo needs to steal them. Wolfden, you crazy? Square will probably know. They'll be like, yo, I see what you're trying to do. But nah, for real, like, they definitely but yeah, we missing one game. What could the other game be? Damn. What could the other game be? When you talk RPGs, it's easy to go to Goldensun, but they could easily, do Earthbound. And people will go crazy for that. Absolutely crazy for that. Yeah. Damn. I'm trying to think, yo, what would be the third game? The third game. That's crazy. Star Fox, yo. Nintendo always tries to do something. If they could get a team that got good know-how with online, and they could make that damn single-player online game. I know that sounds crazy. You just say co-op. I just need it to be understood that it's what Star Fox is: single-player, 4 characters running around talking, but all 4 people are being played by actual humans. And those areas where you break off into other sections, let them break off into other sections. And imagine you go, one side goes to Corn area and the other one goes to, the goddamn Z goddamn area. And then, and then, eventually when you finish, y'all meet up and then like save the day in the other person's game. Like shit like that would be awesome. Hell, Gears of War does little things like that where it'll let you like break away. All right, you go that way and you go that way, and then y'all eventually meet up and you see each other, like he's across the street and you across the street from him, and then y'all basically flank the enemy and stuff like that. So Star Fox, I feel like needs to do something like that. So for me, if it was Goldensun, Star Fox, and I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to be F-Zero more than anything. You did 99. I wanted to be F-Zero, and that's why I put it in the thumbnail. I'm like, I hope one of these teams is F-Zero, because I still remember them going to Crystal Dynamics. Y'all remember that not too long ago? They went to Crystal Dynamics, and they asked them, and they weren't interested. And I said, you can't blame them. They doing their own thing. It is what it is. Well, yeah, seeing Prince of Persia, how y'all feel seeing Prince of Persia in this exact stream and then seeing Metroid Dread? Like seeing them, it's crazy, right? I personally feel, looking at them side by side, I think Metroid Dread does look better, but they're different. It's like stupid to compare, but in a way, it feels like, in a weird way, like Metroid Dread had a higher budget than Prince of Persia visually, because I don't know about game wise. The game Prince of Persia might be way bigger. Who knows? Yeah, they went to Criterion. That was, I think, during the Wii U days or during the Wii days, and they weren't interested. But damn, imagine that. But then I would have never got the game that made me love games like Forza Horizon, which was Burnout Paradise. That was my game that generation. I was playing that all the time on the 360. I just like the way that was, which is what Forza basically is now. But yeah, I think it's good that Nintendo's doing this, partnering up with people. They're gonna need it. I look at like all the studios that Xbox owns. I'm like, yeah, everybody gonna need more teams, more people. Like they're not playing. Their releases is crazy. You know what's mad funny? I said the whole lineup and I didn't mention the direct. You know I'm gonna talk about the direct, right? Did I mention I'm gonna talk about the direct? Predictions? Oh well I am. But that was the last thing I was gonna talk about before I get to the main topic and all of that. But uh I guess I'll segue right now into that. You know, last year when I think I said it during my reaction to the Game Awards, which you could watch on the channel right now. But in my reaction, I said this was the Xbox show. If it wasn't that reaction, it was the podcast after where I talked about it. And I said that was an Xbox show, right? And I said, and watch, Xbox is gonna be the first ones to put on the show next year. They did that, and I said in my predictions for 2024, right in the first N Xbox podcast, I said Xbox is gonna have the most direct like shows of the year, and it's already begun. Because look, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I could see Nintendo not doing a direct until they have to reveal their console. So basically at the end of March, for the simple fact that they're like, you already know what's coming. You got March of the Minis. What is it? That's February. They just put out a new trailer to that. It looks goddamn good. I'm getting that for sure. Especially after the goddamn Mario and Donkey Kong moment in the movie. I need me a Mario and Donkey Kong game. Give it to me, Nintendo. Put EP.332 on that. What's wrong with you? Anyway, like you got Peach already with a release date, right? Yeah, Peach got it's the 20th or 21st. These games are all dated. What is the direct gonna do? I could see an indie show, an indie direct. They could do that. Cool, awesome. I like those. Always see beautiful games, fun looking games in there. But it's like an actual Nintendo Direct for what? What games? What y'all expecting to come out on the Switch? I'm really thinking about it. And this is not something that I thought about. I'm thinking about it right now. Like I'm really thinking about it right now. Like what is a Direct gonna do in February? I honestly right now I feel like comfortable enough to say the next actual Nintendo Direct is the Direct where they reveal their console. So unless you think that console's coming out in June, July, I wouldn't expect a Direct no time soon. No time soon, actually. Which is funny. Because in my mind, I was thinking, oh, yeah, they might do one, in February. But I'm like, for what? For what games? What guy expect to come out on the Switch? Like, I know I said, oh, they could have, like, ports this year. And I guess, yeah, you could do a direct for that. Which is, I mean, you should if you're going to have more ports. But the more I think about it, I'm like, Nintendo should start off the year with a banger. And I mean, abandon ship. It's what we all want anyway. I don't care, like, oh yeah, numbers this, numbers that. I know people want the Switch to sell a certain amount so it could pass the PS2. I don't care about none of that. Like, I really don't care about console war that much to the point where I'm like, yeah, I'd rather punish myself. That's what it is at this point, and not get a new Nintendo console this year just so that they could beat this imaginary console war number bullshit. Where it's like, bro, the money that they made off the Switch is way more than what Sony ever sold of PlayStation 2, probably 3 and 1 combined. Just being honest. So, like, what does it matter? Like, they've already won where it matters. You know what I'm saying? Software wise, first party game, like, it's just not comparable. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's no date for 1,000 Year Door, but that could be an easy, simple trailer on a YouTube channel, tweet. Uh, yeah, I feel like Nintendo may as well kick off 2024 right and be like, yeah, here's this little teaser trailer to the thing y'all gonna see revealed in this next direct. The same thing that they did with the Switch. Remember, they showed the trailer in October, gave you the January date, early January, you saw it, and then it was like March. And people was like, yo, this is tight. This release date is so close. Like, and I was like, yeah. And I was the one who was predicting that the whole time. I said, this is going to be the shortest gap between reveal and release. Because they know what the industry does to them. Every time they reveal something, and then they go a year until the release, the industry just took 1 year to beat that shit up. They even did it to the Wii. They tried to kill the Wii at every turn they could. They tried to kill the DS at every turn they could. I was there, bro. I was getting the magazines. I was on the internet. I was there. And they was trying to kill. Oh, the PSP. How can this compete? Look at the graphics versus this. And that DS came out and stomped the shit out of goddamn PSP, yo. Like, I mean, badly, like badly. So I'm like, yeah, they gonna keep that up, and that's what Xbox had to do too. They got to learn this industry. They be talking mad shit. So that's why Hi-Fi Rush, you didn't give them a chance to talk that game down. So people played it and was like, this shit fire. So if the reviews came out was like it's garbage, people would immediately been like, nah. But when the reviews come out first, people base their opinion off that. So they go in thinking about that 7. Oh yeah, it's a 7 because yeah, they gave it a 7. Because gamers be corny like that. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. They be corny like that. They can't think for themselves on a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Hence why a lot of them, it's cool paying $70, getting, I mean, no real kind of forward compatibility software, still buying that kind of software after what they saw the transition from the last gen to the forward to this one, and was like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna still do that $70 games, cool, all right. You know what I'm saying? You do it to yourself. That's goofy. I'm sorry, that's goofy. Oh no, but you know, I'm built into this ecosystem. I don't give a shit. Hey, listen, if I'm on the Xbox ecosystem, right, which I am 100% in, all in. I get all my third party games on my there. I don't buy no third party games on my Nintendo platforms or PC unless they get given to me free by Epic or something like that. I ain't getting nothing on the PC. I'm getting everything on Xbox, getting everything on the Nintendo console that's first party that I want, right? Platform comes out and they be like, yeah, you could get all that shit you get on Xbox, but it's gonna cost you literally a fraction of the cost. I'm going there. What are you talking about? Why am I doing myself dirty then? Hold up, so I get the same ownership, the same, all that shit, all everything you like, FPS boosts, you know, auto HDR, all of that shit with all your purchases. You could believe in us. That's the thing. You got to make me believe. I believe in Xbox. They showed me it. They did it. You know, you will be talking the big game. That's the thing. But they did it, and people was like, yeah, nah, Sony ain't do shit. Just basically was like, yo, $10. Give me the full price. Here's Uncharted again. Be hype. Like, what? I mean, not Uncharted, my bad. Last of Us. Like, be hype. Come on, man. And people are like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm good. I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tapped into this ecosystem. Like, what? Nah, I ain't that crazy. Especially if they do you wrong and they be like, nah, you got to pay for this or you got to pay for that. We're going to up the online and we ain't going to tell you even why we up in the online price and you just accept that. That's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, because everything is parity. What are you missing out on? Actually, it's not parity. It's a little bit better on this side. You know what I'm saying? The actual game. So it's like power wise. What are you doing? They already showed you. Like, listen, that game, Helldivers, right? You're going to have to buy that game twice if you want to play it on PC. But you got PlayStation dudes actually mad talking about, I'm going to turn off crossplay. But I'm like, that's not even new with y'all. Because when crossplay was the big thing, remember when Fortnite was doing it and Switch was doing it and it was play together and it was blue, it was red and green, no blue in it at all because Sony was like, nah, we don't need to play with y'all. Look how many consoles we sell. And those same games were saying, yeah, we better off playing with nobody, bro. Because when you look at those online games, if it ain't Call of Duty or an Xbox game, them shits ain't. Nobody playing that shit. Nobody buying them shits on PlayStation. We've seen the numbers. We know the truth. So why would you cut yourself off? Limit yourself from people you could play with. When I play Call of Duty on God, this is why I say, listen, man, I love PlayStation fans from afar. Because y'all the guys who I play Call of Duty with the most. You could see the actual you know, symbol, Xbox symbol, everybody name when you play Call of Duty. And then you see a PC, and then you see a TV. You know the TV ain't Switch yet, because it ain't on Switch yet. It's PlayStation guys. And yo, every lobby, I swear, whenever look the last Call of Duty videos I played, look back at those lobbies and those streams. I bet you're gonna see mostly PlayStation consoles there. That's what they play. You understand? And it's a good thing. Because, yeah, if I turned off crossplay, yeah, it'll fill it up with Xbox people. But I play with everybody. People be scared of keyboard and mouse and all that. Like, it's a game. It ain't real life. It ain't that serious. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look at this right here. This is the part that gets the creator of God of War confused and stuck and made this a bad game. Because even though they put things on the wall for you to actually shoot the wall, he didn't know where to go because he never shot the wall. That's so weird to not press a button to attempt to solve an area. Like, let me try to shoot the wall. Let me try to do a morphball ball. Let me try something. Weird. But I just bring it up because every time I see that section now, it just, wow. But anyway, wow. Anyway, yeah. You said that Wii U was rough. but I made it enjoyable. Who's JViz64 said that. But you made it enjoy. Listen, the Wii U was rough, but it was mad fun. At the end of the day, people could talk up Xbox that gen. Well, they took it down. Let's be honest. But they could talk up PlayStation, that gen, and all that. They ain't never get no stampedes. The tail of the tape tells the truth. And when you look back, you see the PlayStation dude holding his head, rubbing his head, going, damn, ain't nobody interested in our shit at all. And I was like, but they the best. They got the best first party lineup. What happened? Why everybody running this way? For one game. Breath of the Wild did that. I'm just saying. We was on the Amiibo craze. We had Miiverse. Like, all those little things made that generation mad cool and mad memorable to remember. Like, because in the 3DS was there too, always remember. So you had Street Pass, and all that stuff. Like, all that stuff we was doing was crazy at the time. So yeah, I look back at it and yeah, I look back at it and like you said, yeah, it was still good. I look at it fondly now too. Because there was little things done there that I wish, like, yeah, imagine if, like, look how popular the Switch is compared to the Wii U. Imagine if they just kept Miiverse. How, like, what would that have been like with 100 million people versus only, the 13 million, and probably only like 3 million of them was actually using it. Like, if that, like, imagine that. It would have been insane, like crazy, absolutely crazy. But yeah, I think it's time I should get into this developer direct. Should I? Did I make all the points I wanted to make on that? I mean, kinda. Yeah. I said, yeah, basically. So, Xbox out of nowhere, like I said, they announced their developer direct. In there, they in the image, they showed Aura, right? Aura, right? That's the game, History Untold. I think that's a strategy game, right? So that was shown. They showed Hellblade, which they just showed at the Game Awards. This is what I'm saying. They went to the Game Awards and they showed out over there. And then they have another show literally the next month. And they stunting hard. Because in the thumbnail, yeah, it was Aura, it was Hellblade 2, it was Avowed, and Indiana Jones. In the thumbnails. They could have kept Indiana Jones off that. Because last year they kept, I think, Hi-Fi Rush off that. It was like 4 games originally, and then it was 5 when it was over. And I think they might do that this year too. It might be something like the Gears of War collection, since that was rumored forever. And I could see them wanting to do something like that to get people hyped for the next Gears, which supposedly that team is insanely, powerful right now, filled with developers left and right, which is awesome to see. But yeah, they stunned it super hard because they put Indiana Jones in the thumbnail and was like, yeah, you're gonna get 10 minutes of obviously developer stuff. It's called Developer Direct, so you're gonna see the developer and you're gonna see the game, actual gameplay. Machine Games showing off their game. Hellblade there again, we just got the banging trailer. So I'm like, we getting a release date for Hellblade? If Hellblade's coming out first, like I'm talking about, because I was expecting Towerborn to be first. I really was expecting Towerborn to be first. But now I'm thinking Towerborn going to be like the summer. If they crazy enough to put out Hellblade like in March, that's fire. Indiana Jones, and listen, look, Indiana Jones, Hellblade or Avowed, those 3 games will be out, I said before, by September, not before, by September. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Microsoft don't want none of their games in the way of their biggest game of the year, every year, Call of Duty. So they're like, let's put, one of these games in the Starfield slot, September. I could see them doing that. And I was thinking Hellblade, but now I'm like, they showed it at the Game Awards, they're going to show it here. I think they're going to give a release day, and this shit going to drop first. And then it's going to be Towerborn, Avowed, and end the year off with Indiana Jones. And if you're wondering, do I believe Indiana Jones is coming out this year, I would say, why would it be in the developer direct if it wasn't? It's time. Machine Games haven't made a game in years. It's time. It's this year. Is it third person or is it first person? I know some of y'all going to have that question. And I'm going to be honest. I don't really care, but the developer is known for first person. So a part of me is like, it should be first person, you know. But then it's like you look at Blade developer and you go, oh yeah, but Blade was, you know, a developer who's only done first person games, and now they already confirmed that they doing, you know, third person. And I'm like, yeah, that's good. It could happen. But not everything needs to be third person now because, again, it's that PlayStation thing. Where it's like, oh, PlayStation got a bunch of third party. Do that. It's working for them. We've seen the leaks now. We know the truth now. You've seen the numbers. You know the truth now. Let's stop lying to ourselves. It's not sustainable. Is Game Pass sustainable? Oh, the truth came out. Game Pass a month makes over $300 million. The price that it costs to make one of those games. Sustainability we talking about? What are we talking about here? Uh you said the Switch was the switch up. Yeah, the big and neither. Yeah, of course, it definitely was. Oh, the Metroid crawl post. Wolves then brought it back. The water guy. Remember all the screenshots of games with water and all that? Like that was crazy. Um, yeah, it's just wild. Like it's wild. You know the year we about to have. Like Nintendo console, if it drops this year, at this point I don't even feel comfortable saying if. I think it's a goddamn fact it's dropping this year. But that coming out, you know, and then all these first party games are gonna be going right into your Game Pass subscription. It's gonna be crazy. So I looked at this and I said, last year they had a stealth drop, right? And it was Hi-Fi Rush. I don't think they're gonna do that this year. Why? Because if they do it this year, now it's the thing. It's part of the thing. Last year was like, nah, we did it. That was just a nice thing we did last year. You know, cool. But if they do it this year, now it's like, oh yeah, now every year you can't get mad at people expecting the game to play. Or I go even further. You can't get mad at people reviewing a show and making that a negative. Oh yeah, but nah, this, you know, I'm gonna take some off it because this year's didn't have a stealth drop like the last two. So it broke the tradition. Right now, this year, I'm not adding that to it. I'm not expecting no, stealth drop of anything. But if they were to do it, I said it'll probably be something like a Gears or something. Oh, imagine it was Hellblade out of nowhere. They'd be like, yo, listen, this shit dropping at midnight. Oh my God. People would be like, are you serious? It's like, because they got a lot. Towerborn is this year. Avowed is this year. Hellblade is this year. The is Aura first party? I think that's like a publishing deal they do like limited time. Because you got that. You got, even though I know this week the joke's been from a lot of, of the console war conversation. I just got to have a segment called the console war segment because people were, now counting third party games. It's funny. When PlayStation 4 first came out and had no fucking games, they was all on indie games, especially that little plane game, right? And then once they started getting first party games, Sony just abandoned ship. You wasn't seeing none of them shits in their E3 shows and they stayed to play, no nothing. And it was like, damn, that's wild. They just dropped them like that. And now they don't got no first party games, so now third party games. They're trying to, nah, but this is first party. Like, this is first party. Like, it's basically first party. And I'm like, yo, you want to play that game? If you really want to play that game, because in Planet of Lana, until it comes out on everything else, yeah, that was first party too then. And High on Life, that was first party too then. This thing that's coming out this year, what the hell is the name of it? Why I left my brain, the stealth game with stealth, right? I'm forgetting the name right now. The Ukraine developer, Stalker 2. There you go, stealth. Stalker 2. That game, then yeah, that's first party too. Like if you want to do that, then this year is gonna be crazy because they got a lot of those. They got a lot of those, the games that come out exclusively first into game. All right, then that Pal World, that Pokemon game that's coming out. It out of nowhere, it just got announced coming like next week into Game Pass. Like literally next week, I think next Friday. It's like, yo, that's first party. Then count that. Like, you want to play that game, but not actual first party games. Xbox got a lot this year. So yeah, they got to come out at some point. Everything can't come out later in the year. A lot of stuff is gonna come out early. Yo, this fight is so fire. Look at this. This game is. Listen, if there was ever a 10 out of 10, this is one. I'm sorry. I love this game so much. Love it. Uh, you said Nintendo calling 2027 release. Wait. Oh, you talking about Smash Bros. I had to read everything you said. So you said, I forgot, yeah, Sakurai mentioned he's closing his channel, but we always knew it was a limited time. He said that from the beginning. But yeah, it's closing, so he's probably going full blown developer mode right now, full blown director mode, and ain't no time to be doing that. So yeah, I think 2027 will be perfect timing because they don't need that shit. They do not need Smash at launch nowhere. They got 3D Mario, which is gonna be hotter than ever. Off the back of Odyssey and the movie alone, it's gonna be hotter than ever. They got Mario, you know, Kart 910, whatever they decide to call it. That's gonna do better than ever. You already like they set Zelda sells now more than ever. They got Monolith's next game. They good. They straight. They got a lot of stuff. They got a sequel to this right here, so that we could get more epic battles like this. Boggity, boggity. Just shoot them in the face. Like yeah. But Indiana Jones. I hope it has a good showing. Honestly, I'm gonna do a live stream to that. I'm gonna definitely do a live stream to that, and live reaction. It's already up actually, so you could, put the bell on that and everything, so you get notified. But yeah, I'm excited to see what that game is actually gonna look like, what it's actually gonna play like. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with it. You said it would be 9 years since Ultimate released in 2018. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. You said, oh yeah, Prime 4. That's another one I forgot to mention. But I didn't mention that as a system seller because Metroid sadly never has been a system seller, even though it should be. I don't know how people could see these games and just be like, yeah, I don't want to give this a shot. You know what it is? I always said the problem with these games is that they make gamers think. And gamers don't like that. No, nah, that's not true. I just think some gamers they expect this shit to be Halo, like with the Prime games, and it wasn't that. So they each one sold less because people realize, oh no, they're not just shooty bang bang games, but they're actually games where you gotta think for crying out loud. So yeah. Yo, if Retro Studios is making a dual release for Metroid Prime, that's the saddest shit in the world. Because Metroid Prime was actually never announced for Switch, so they don't owe nobody on Switch that shit like they do, or like they did Breath of the Wild. Like Metroid Prime 4 was announced for Switch, then it was canceled, and then it was restarted development, and they never said for what. That's what I saw. That's how it played out. I don't know what everybody else saw, but that's what I saw. Sure. I mean, did they say restarted development for Nintendo Switch? I'm really wondering that because I don't remember them saying that. I really don't remember them saying that. Restarted development for Nintendo Switch. I don't want Retro to make Prime on such weak hardware. I actually want them to be like Metroid should always be the showcase game. Like Metroid Prime was that for the GameCube, and Super Metroid you could say was that for the Super Nintendo. Metroid Hunters was literally that for the DS to let you see like, yo, you could have kind of like a console like experience, you know. So it's like, yeah, I want, and even for the Wii, Metroid Prime 3 was like the best looking game on that console, 60 frames per second and all that. So, well, obviously, Mario Galaxy existed and stuff, but still, it was one of the best. It's the same with on GameCube. Metroid Prime 1 and 2 was like basically the two best looking games on that hardware, but then obviously Wind Waker existed. But yeah, I would just rather see the Super Nintendo Switch, like you said. Uh, yeah, see, Wolfsden is the perfect person to talk about what I was just talking about with Metroid, because he's actually playing through Super Metroid to get into the series because he hasn't clicked with it like that. And your example of it being like Zelda is true. It is. And look at your ability slots. Those are your hearts. You know what I'm saying? You got your magic meter. It's the same thing I've always said. Metroid and Zelda was the same thing. Metroid was just basically like 2D Zelda, you know? And instead of a sword, you just had your little shooty bang bang arm cannon. Like and yeah, you have to think about like a dungeon design basically for the whole game. And, oh yeah, I might have to revisit this. But Zelda does the same thing. You know, oh yeah, I gotta revisit this area. Oh yeah, I can't get there yet. Stuff like that. So it's one of those games. And I think people always expect them to be like Contra, maybe back in the day. You know, like those kind of experiences, like a core, like a Streets of Rage, something that was mindless, fun as hell. But then I'm just going back to the beginning. Where like Double Dragon and Contra and stuff like that on the NES and Super NES. People probably thought, oh, Metroid, a 2D game, it's probably gonna be like that. And it's like, nah, there's you go left in this game, and all the other games you only went right. And it's like, wait, I gotta go left. I think that shit triggered something in people's brains where they couldn't wrap their head around. You know, oh shit, this is literally open world. That's what I always said. Like Zelda and Metroid was like the two original open world games and RPG games. You know what I'm saying? Like those were the open world games of gaming back in the day. And then, it changed, and then those got titles, labels, weren't allowed to be called open world. But what is this? This might not be open world, but it's opening up a world, and then when that world is open, I get to run around it like a free open world. How is it not an open world game? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Talking about going left. You saw that right there? That was literally the definition of going left. Like, it was nothing there, and then you got to shoot a wall just to find a whole different area to go to. It's like, yeah, that's Metroid for you. That's what makes Metroid fun. So, yeah. You said retro defines hardware limitations with their art styles and talent. Yeah, I have no reason to doubt. Yeah, that they're gonna make the best looking Nintendo game to date. Yeah, I mean Tropical Freeze even on, Wii U. People try to sleep on that game in the same way they do stuff like this on Switch because I think this is one of the best looking Switch games. I don't care what nobody say, and Tropical Freeze was amazing looking, 60 frames per second and everything. And I remember people complaining because the loading screens used to hiccup. Like, oh my God, like it's a loading screen. It's not like you playing. Oh yeah, we got to dock some points because the loading screen loaded, so you would see like that it was loading. I'm like, you that serious? That's like if there's a circle and you see it like chug a bit because it's loading, the little loading circle, and you be like, yeah, I'm gonna give the game a negative. That's literally what they did to Tropical Freeze. That's how corny people in this industry are, just to want to be haters. You know what I'm saying? And then people say, oh, no, that's a valid opinion. That's not a valid opinion, bro. In no shape of the realm, you giving a negative for a loading screen. That's crazy. Now, if you say, oh, there's too many loading screens everywhere, like in Starfield, fine. I'll give you that. That one I understand. But you being upset that the loading screen was actually doing the loading animation is wild. Is absolutely wild. So you said Dread in the convo for best 2D games made for real? Yeah. Oh, you said King of Fighters 13. Oh yeah, those graphics are crazy. But even Street Fighter 6 graphics, I thought were incredible. Like, there's a lot of 2D stuff out there that's crazy, like crazy cool looking. But yeah, I guess I could get into, because I mean, the developer direct, I'm excited for it, but there's not much to say other than, you know, it's exciting. I'm not gonna say I'm excited to see like the aura stuff, but I'm not gonna judge. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna see what it is, how it is, and all of that. This deeper dive on it, but like I'm really interested in seeing how Avowed looks and it being played and stuff. Because it being played, people's trying to play that game for being colorful. Because it was different from the original, CGI trailer and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, but it still look good, right? Most people, when they saw it, they thought it was Assassin's Creed. I'm like, Assassin's Creed are some of the best looking games out there. So how is that a negative now? And this is a giant open world, first person and all that. So I said, yo, people just immediately want to hate on stuff that they know is not going to be on their console. But yeah, there was a lot of, begging for console games. Obviously, I talked about it on the last show. But yeah, it's crazy how you go from Xbox got no games to now people want their games. And the crazy part is, this is what I wanted to mention before I moved on with this. All right, so Aaron Greenberg and I think a couple other people, like, when they posted this, showing off games coming exclusively to Xbox, Game Pass, and PC. You know what I'm saying? And people still want to run with the Xbox going third party. Like, this is how one dimensional it is. Like, PlayStation don't got nothing that they care about because they don't care about the Helldivers game on Real Talk, and they don't. So what they doing, they looking at what's going on the Xbox side, and shit been popping on our side all year since last year. From the E3 like shows, Sony didn't give them no shows, nothing. And the shows they did give were nothing shows, straight up, and they all knew that was the case, and now they sitting there, Xbox starting they're ready. It's like bang, 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 and it's like Hellblade, Indiana Jones. Like, yo, this is crazy. Like, they going straight up. That's what they see. So it's just anger because they can't celebrate Xbox. God forbid that they think it's cool, it's good, and just a nod of the hat or something. Nah, it got to be hating. But now it's like, yeah, all these games are gonna be on Xbox in a year. I mean, on PlayStation in a year. Like, what game was announced? Where's your proof of anything coming? I don't care who say whatever the hell. And this is something that anybody like Wolves Den and folks here who done listen to this podcast forever. When everybody was sitting there saying Breath of the Wild is not going to be a launch game, everybody and their moms, I was the one saying they all wrong. Factually wrong. So factually wrong that I said I will retire if it wasn't. I won't even buy the console. I'll skip the generation if it don't. That's what I said. Like, I will literally retire for a generation from Nintendo consoles if it ain't a launch game. That's how much I guarantee it. And then I'm like, who the hell gonna have a E3 show dedicated to one game and then launch a console and that game is not there? That makes no goddamn sense. But this is the story that they would get running with. Everybody for clicks. Shit was the most dumbest shit I ever saw in my life. Like, there was no scenario because if you followed that game, you knew that game was sitting there done. And they just pushed it back for the Switch to remove all the Wii U-ness. That's not an opinion. That was always a fact. So I was like, yo, y'all wrong. Y'all wrong. And on this, I'm going to say, y'all wrong. Y'all wrong. Y'all going to sit there giving them hope. They do this all the time. When Resident Evil 4, always remember why Shin Mikami left Capcom. Why did he leave? Because he promised Iwata. All right? My word is my bond. I'm going to make this Resident Evil 4 for your system. I'm going to help y'all out. You understand? And Capcom, the day before it came out, because of PlayStation fans crying because GameCube had a fucking exclusive. I was there. Bro. They were crying. Capcom, literally the night before it came out, said, it'll be on PlayStation in 1 year. Basically, chill out. And they were happy. They didn't have to run out and buy that GameCube because they was about to pull that trigger and buy the GameCube to play Resident Evil when they thought they were never going to get it. And so that happened. And that gave these dudes the comfortability to think whenever they complain, they could get whatever the fuck they want. But guess what? Shit done changed, baby. You going to need an Xbox. Just accept it. You either going to get one now or you going to get one later or you going to bring something in the house that's going to have one anyway. So either way, you coming into the ecosystem, whether you like it or not, kicking and screaming. Your next TV, your next PC, it's going to be right at the palm of your hands, your next phone. It's already on your current one. So stop it. Stop pretending. Stop lying. You know what I'm saying? I know what it is. You know what it is. The reason why you want these games is because this is the coolest shit coming out this year that it's announced currently. There's nothing cool announced. Like, everything else announced is Peach's Showtime, which nobody's going to say that's cooler than Hellblade or Avowed or something. Or nobody expect that to be, of the caliber of those games, even though I'm super hyped for that game too, But that's the only thing. Everything else is old so far. What we waiting for with Nintendo is the new. And that's going to be the Super Nintendo Switch whenever that comes. So everything right now that's dope, everything that feels like it's moving is all Xbox related. But it's kind of felt like this already for the last year. It was like, yo, look, Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin. And it's like, yeah, look, Redfall came out bad. But before that, we had Hi-Fi Rush, banger. Starfield came out, banger. And Starfield made mad money, over 230 something million, I think, on Steam alone. That's not counting what they sold on Xbox and stuff like that. That's not counting all what Satya Nadella said that was the biggest boom we saw for Game Pass subscriptions, the day that game came out. Like, bro, this game was successful by every facet of the word. Successful. But yet, motherfuckers want to take the success away from this game. And it's like, why? Why do you want to do this? Oh, because it's not on PlayStation. But when you think a game is coming to PlayStation, now it's good. Now it's cool. See, I remember when the Wii Remote was whack. And then when they got the PlayStation Move, then, oh yeah, motion controls is cool. I remember when Rumble was whack, when Sony lost that lawsuit and lost all that PlayStation money because they stole Rumble that generation. Yeah, from a company or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I remember when then, oh yeah, no, 6 axis, Rumble ain't all that. And then when the new Rumble, you know, the Dual Shock 3 came out, oh yeah, great. They do this all the time, bro. They're transparent. That's why I don't really care about what they say, because it ain't reality. Like, they mad one dimensional. They easy like to read. This shit is not like nothing to like debate console war about. It's like, bro, you talking to a wall. You talking to a handball wall. Or a soccer goalpost. Either one. If you're a handball wall, you try to hit a ball at it, that shit gonna move. The soccer ball, you try to kick the ball into the goal, that shit gonna move. No matter what. No matter what. They're gonna do it no matter what. It is inevitable with them. So right now you see them foaming out the mouth thinking, yo, how hype. That was the most buzz you've seen in the PlayStation conversation in years. Don't lie. In at least 2 years. In at least 2 years. That was more buzz than when fucking Spider-Man came out, on God. There was more talk. There was more hype that they was getting. Sea of Thieves, an old-ass game that they hated on, by the way, when they came out on the Xbox One. And Hi-Fi Rush, the cartoony, it's not AAA, it's a AA game. Like, if that fucking matters. Like, they believe that hype about, yo, the price of a game means nothing. Don't believe me? How much did... Now, I don't even want to bring up games and do them dirty, but reality is reality, history is history, it is what it is. The Order, right? We could do The Order, or we could do Days Gone, or we could do, you know, the chick who used to, what was it? Gravity, what was it? Gravity Rush, whatever it was called. The other PlayStation game. You know, all these developers are dead, right? Those are all, not all of them, but a lot of those games there that I named was AAA games. There's plenty of PlayStation developers you can name who made AAA games, and they're fucking gone. Now, I bring you to the conversation of Vampire Survivors. She got a fucking cartoon coming out. What game on paper you would have thought would have been bigger? All those games I named, you would have thought would have been bigger than this little fucking, is that even 16-bit? You just moving around and use this one button. You could make this shit on the Atari. You got the one big red button. That's it. Like, they don't even use a button if I'm not mistaken. Like, yo, yeah, and that was the biggest thing in the world. You can't, like, you go off that, bro. That just tells me you a child, bro. That means that you didn't live through Undertale. You ain't see what those games did? Like, are you serious? Oh, you forgot what Minecraft was when it originally came out. And Fortnite. And PUBG. I'm just saying, like, this is the thing. It's like, dude, having the conversation with people who opinion is so skewed to believe these guys are the best. Everything, I deserve everything. It's like, there's no point. And that's the Xbox tax. That there's people who are those people within this industry in high positions in this industry. So they can't even be taken serious because they literally, they have clown syndrome in their brain where it's like, bro, you're not even talking realistically. You're not even living in reality. Like, what are you talking about? You said you forgot about the PlayStation Move? Yeah, and you know what I forgot about? I forgot about PlayStation VR. But motherfuckers just spent more than the $300 it costs to get a Series S and get the games that they complaining about. They spent $600 or some shit on that paperweight. You could have just got a Series S and stopped crying on the internet. What also bothers me, here's the thing that bothers me too. They shouldn't be crying because and it's like, oh yeah, but everybody didn't say that, different people. Bro, it was the general consensus coming from media and goddamn every comment section. I could just play Xbox games on my Beast PC. They all understood that. But they don't understand Xbox games potentially being elsewhere. And that doesn't mean, oh, they're going third party. That just means they're getting more money than PlayStation is, like they've been. Oh, and Nintendo too. Because, I mean, if you want to pretend like if Nintendo didn't drop Mario Kart right now on PC, that wouldn't be the best-selling game on PC in the history of PC gaming, you're a liar. And if you think that's bullshit, look, one day, whether I'm alive or I'm dead, and if you're alive, remember this. When Nintendo makes their storefront, or if they decide to go into Xbox's ecosystem when they're on PC, which would be hilarious, but when they make their storefront, right, and when their game is available on PC, and when that article comes out and they say this is the best personal computer selling video game ever for a single thing. Not like, oh, it's expansions, it's an MMO. No, a single game, one purchase. When you see, oh yeah, it was a Nintendo game. Yeah, Nintendo leaves billions on the table by just being exclusive. Billions, billions, absolute billions. Speaking of billions, I saw Microsoft got enough trillions now that they can consider themselves bigger than Apple and all that. Like they beating Apple now. I'm like, that's crazy. But people want to tell you the Xbox ecosystem is dying. Dude who runs Microsoft tells you this shit. We all in on gaming. Spend 80 billion. These dudes want you to believe that. Oh nah, everything going everywhere. You know, and they not they gonna be. This is what they want their fan base to believe. This is what they want. And I say they fan base. I mean even the internet guys, the websites that running with this shit. All these guys, they want their fan base, their team. If I'm Team NX and their team PlayStation, their team, they want their team to not in 2024 go and get an Xbox because of all these fucking games. Why you don't got none? Don't go get an Xbox and Game Pass. Like these games are coming to PlayStation. We just gonna make this rumor up because we could just let it stick. That rumor came the day before they were gonna announce their show. This is what really happened. All those guys knew that tomorrow the developer direct is gonna be announced, and supposedly she's gonna have some heat over there. If they didn't know what the list was, they knew that there was gonna be some heat there, and now we know. Oh no, it's lava. So what did they do? Make a thing about, oh yeah, third party. They're gonna go third party. There's gonna be more third party game, bro. You saying Xbox is gonna put third party games? And I'm gonna look at the chat in a second. Like you saying, third party games, on Xbox. Like, oh, they're gonna take Xbox games and make them third party and put them on other platforms. That could literally mean anything because they're huge. That could mean anything. That could mean that they were developing the fucking I don't know, anything like something like a Guitar Hero or something. And it's like, who wouldn't want Guitar Hero on everything? When I brought up Guitar Hero, I said that should be one of their games that go everywhere. Honestly, like if there was one you gonna do, that could be one. You know what I'm saying? But like, or they say, oh yeah, we're gonna do a Tony Hawk remaster of the other games, Underground, whichever ones they didn't do. I think it was like Underground, right? That was 3, and then 4. They had a 4 too. Whatever. The point is, yeah, we're gonna do those, and those are gonna come out on everything because those games were on everything previously. There you go. That's what they were talking about. But they made it seem like you was getting Halo tomorrow. You was gonna get Forza Horizon the next day. And this is why they do that, because they rather the narrative of you're going to still be able to get everything, because where PlayStation players play is where everything is supposed to be. And it's like, that's not the way it's been. That's not the way it's supposed to be. And now, it's never going to be. You're always going to be the one with the least. Accept that. It's been that way already. Like, look at the first party releases on PlayStation 4 versus the Wii U releases. You get smoked, money-wise, too. But you literally get smoked. Metacritic wise, all that. Whatever you want to now, they blowing you out. No, Last of Us, bro. Mario Kart 8. I'm just going to stop. Listen, I don't care what the Metacritic is of that game. That game is better than Last of Us. Just like Pikmin 3 is too. But anyway, I don't want to do that. We don't got to do that. My point is, like, y'all, forever, like, this is not going to change in the next 20 to 40 years. Because Nintendo ain't changing. They do what they do. They're a well-oiled machine. Sony fired everyone. I said that going into the generation. I said, so y'all gonna see the less games y'all ever gonna see. Remember when I was saying that? And then dudes who want to rock, Nintendo fans who want to be PlayStation fans too. I'm like, why would you do that? That don't even make sense. Banjo over here, Join the Dark over here. What the fuck is over there for you? Oh no, that's the better combo, PlayStation, Nintendo, because of Japanese games. I'm like, you think Xbox ain't fixing that? What you think every trip to Japan is? And I don't know if you noticed, shit looking real fixed right now, right? I just saw the new Final Fantasy DLC trailer, and I saw that on the Xbox channel, 14, right? Online. Yeah, shit getting fixed. Real nice. I just mentioned Octopath and stuff like that, right? Monster Hunter Wilds is announced for Xbox, right? Yeah. So everything looking good. On top of then more first party games. Like this is gonna be the norm now. You're gonna see 3D Mario get announced this year. You're gonna see some whatever, the IPs Nintendo. I'm not gonna sit here and name them. It could be anything. The point is you're gonna see multiple of them this year. And they're gonna release this year. A lot of them on the same date because it's gonna be on launch day. Launch days are always fun. Well, sometimes it's just snippet clips in Zelda. But sometimes they're always fun. Well, sometimes they're always fun. Doesn't make sense. You know what I mean, man? Sometimes they're fun. Oh yeah, they getting Visions of Mana. That's right. They getting Visions of Mana. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, dude, the conversation you having, that's an old Xbox. That's what I'm saying. Like, people don't even talk about Xbox like the company who they actually are. I do. And I'm like, bro, this is what it is now. Get comfortable. This is not about hating. It's not about console war. It was about a console war. They started it. Phil Spencer knocked on the door, walked in. He said, yo, Satya, it was good. I've been here way before you was here. I used to clean toilets, right? And I worked my way all the way up. You saw me when you came. I was standing right there. You saw me there. I thought I saw. Yeah. Xbox, Microsoft does that. Like that's like a division within Microsoft that y'all really don't pay too much mind to, right? Well, I head up that division now, or at least could I head up that division now? Because I got a vision now, and this is what we should do. We should tie all of it together. Your shit and my little corner of the Xbox of the Microsoft world over here with Xbox, and really and Satya was like, Phil, are you asking me for money? Yes, but also I'm asking you for your belief in me and my vision, because you're gonna hear a lot of people really fast once I explain what the vision is, tell you why it's crazy, it's wrong. And that dude was like, you know what? Tell me the vision. Told him the vision. I believe in your vision. Here's an open checkbook. Go fucking crazy. That was the console war. And that's the day it ended, when he knocked on that door. Nobody knew it ended that day. But I always said there's going to be a big, stroke that is going to show that it's over. And that was Activision. I didn't know it was going to happen that fast, but it did. And it's over. It's done. Anybody talking about, we sold 50 million consoles. Cool. You can sell 100. You're going to still be behind. And every time you sell them, congrats. There's more people for me to play Call of Duty with. That Xbox first party game. It's over. It's no point to have these conversations no more. It really isn't. I just want to always say this so that if anybody new is listening to this, they can either get bothered or they can understand the reality. Like, this is the truth. People can say, oh, nah, that ain't the... No, listen, it literally is facts. It literally is facts. There'll be a year. I'm not saying Xbox will never have a year where it's like, oh yeah, only one first party game came out. Because listen, the stars could align with literally all 50 teams were literally just in it in that year. It's like, bro, none of us is ready to go. We'll be ready in 6 months. 6 months is next year. We'll be ready in 12 months. 12 months, like, bro, like, we really ain't gonna... It's like, damn, all right. So third-party partnerships it is. People going to clown them, but then I'm going to be like, yo, remember 2024? When all the third-party games on PlayStation were all first-party? Where that energy at? Where that energy at? See what I'm saying? That's why the shit you say will come back to bite you in the ass in the future. That's why I always just say what I truly believe, because what I truly believe usually ain't dumb as hell. So I was like, yeah, I'm always going to be on the right side of history if I just speak my truth. You know what I'm saying? So people today might say, oh, no, you crazy. You think Nintendo gone... I know Nintendo gone. You're like, but how you know they gone? Well, I've known everything else for the most part. I've been mad right on everything. Like on damn near everything. So I think I'm right when I say inevitably Nintendo's going to realize, why are we leaving... Hold on. Run up the numbers again. Why are we leaving 8 billion software sales on the table every year? Like 8 billion, like 8 billion. Somebody said it might be 1 trillion if we make online, always online, free to play Mario Kart, and we just give Mario new costumes every week. Like, oh shit. Like, no, but for real, they're gonna realize that one day and say, yeah, it's time, because they'll probably be drowned out. It's like everybody moved on, everybody's everywhere, and we only here with this small piece of the pie. And now nobody carries physical media no more. So now we just selling a box, so people can access our digital storefront. Our Nintendo eShop. That's crazy. So what do you think they're going to do? They're going to adapt, bro. The same way they went to phones. Remember when they went to phones and people thought, oh, Nintendo goes third party? You don't remember that? This was not too long ago. Literally, your favorite websites out there, your GameSpots and IGNs of the world, were literally proclaiming Nintendo goes third party, like on some real shit. Not even like jokey. Like, oh, this is the first step of the. No, it is the first step to them, getting out of just being in the old school way of doing things. But yeah, that was the thing they did. And funny enough, didn't they do that to Xbox too? But funny, they didn't do that to Sony when Sony shit came. Damn, yo. Sometimes when you talk about this shit and you run through it in your mind, you start seeing just how messed up they play this shit with their biases. It's wild. Don't tell me I'm crazy. They did not do that with PlayStation. Nobody started saying, oh, yo, Spider-Man rumor 2 years, it's going to be on PC. But then the year after the, PC release, it's going to be on Xbox. Nobody said that. Nobody did that. Nobody actually made up stuff like that. But now people want you to believe that everything in their moms is coming to PlayStation from Xbox. Starfield's coming. You remember Starfield on God? I will lawyer up, and I will take a screen cap of Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, in front of the Starfield at their showcase. It's a Starfield coming. Remember the date, whatever the date was, and it said exclusively. Come exclusive on it. It literally said the word exclusive. It's like, it didn't say time exclusive. It said exclusive. False advertising, I'm suing. Nah, but for real, like that like they told you to your face, that game's exclusive. Gears is gonna be exclusive. Like now there's rumors, Indiana Jones is gonna be multi-plat. I bet you it ain't. And I could tell you it ain't. You wanna know why? Because they already told you. Showing you games coming exclusively to Xbox, Game Pass, and PC. But yet, there's rumors right now floating around. Oh, no, that game is going to be it's not going to be exclusive. Like, this is literally port begging at its finest. This is the definition of tapping out. This is the definition of loser energy. Like, bro, just buy the console. The Series S was going for like $130 in certain places in December. Just wait. Easter's right around. Matter of fact, Valentine's Day, they'll probably do, a sale there. Like, they do sales all the goddamn time. Let me look through this damn chat, because I've been going in. You said you rewatched the Avowed trailer. It looks better than its first impression. I was tripping at first. It does. Like, all the textures and the art direction and detail look good. I get it. I was shocked, too. I was, okay, it does look different from the original trailer. But again, games are meant to change. Like, that wasn't gameplay. That wasn't the real thing. That was when they first showed you, like, hey, look, we making this thing. And so, games are going to look different. If you go look at the first Snowdrop trailer for Halo Infinite, it looked different from what you actually got. If you go look at Killzone trailer, which they said was Killzone 2 trailer, and they said that shit was real gameplay, remember? The real game looked different. Still look good, though, right? Compared to that fucking fake trailer. But they just didn't have nothing at the time. But it was example, we clown, but it was an example of like, yeah, this is what we pushing for, so yeah, Avowed trailer was just a real CGI thing. It was like super CG, and it was like no character models or anything. It was just like arrows, nighttime. That's it. It was nothing to go on. So when I saw the game, I was expecting to see something. Like, I'm not sitting here thinking, oh yeah, Metroid Prime 4 gonna look like Metroid Prime Remaster at all. Like, are you serious? Metroid Prime 4 is going to look like a game from 2001. So basically it's garbage. And people, nah, but that still look good. Garbage. This coming from the biggest Metroid fan. Garbage. Trash. Shovelware. Fire them. Cancel the game. But it looked like Metroid Prime looked so good. I don't care. Metroid Prime 4 better look like something new. Listen, when I used to talk about I want Metroid 5. This is what I wanted. What you're seeing right here. This right here. I didn't want goddamn Super Metroid. I don't want Super Metroid. That art direction could burn in hell forever. For real. Like, oh yeah, but class like see a star. Fuck that. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that for Metroid. I don't want that for Mario. No, I'm lying. I would take a Mario in the 2D art style of the old games. That'd be fire. but I've been wanting that forever. They never did it. But still, Paper Mario kind of comes close. To that actually, but nah, like for real, like people be too trying to trap developers into things looking the same. Like for real, on God. Everything I just said about Prime 4, if it looks like Prime 1, apply that to the next Zelda. If it looks like Tears of the Kingdom, throw it in the garbage. Burn it. I don't want the same Hyrule. I don't even want the same art direction. Zelda is known for changing art direction. We got Link to the Past. Link's Awakening tried to look like it, but really didn't, so it kind of had a different art style. But the Minish Cap looked way different from Ages and Seasons and Link to the Past. And then, you know, Ocarina of Time, you got Majora's Mask, but then you got Wind Waker. You know what I'm saying? Then Twilight Princess. And then Skyward. These all look different. I like my change. I don't want Mario Odyssey 2. I never wanted Mario Odyssey 2. I really didn't. I really didn't. I want what is Odyssey 2, the next thing that they make, but I don't expect it to be Super Mario Odyssey 2 like Mario Galaxy 2. Mario Galaxy 2 was just, listen, this idea is so fire, we had more. And that's why you got it. Nintendo changes their games. Whether they want to or not. Whether they want to, even history made them like, yo, listen, go look at Zelda 1 and then Zelda 2. Go look at Mario 1 and then the Mario 2, we got Doki Doki Panic. Like, dude, it's just, the universe wants Nintendo games to look different. I'm the universe when it comes to Nintendo fans. I don't want stuff to look the same. I always want different. If Goldensun comes out, honestly, I don't want it to look like Goldensun. Well, it can't, because that shit, you can't even make our characters' faces. In my mind, Goldensun looks so much better than when I saw that trailer. And then obviously stuff like Sea of Stars doesn't help, you know? So I was going to say Sea of Thoughts. Mixing Sea of Thieves and Sea of Stars, Sea of Thoughts. That game going to be fire. That's a DLC for Grand Theft Auto. It takes place in the ocean. Yo, oh yeah, you said Prime 4, like the suit needs to reference the Dread suit in a subtle way. Well, yeah, if it takes place after. That's another thing. I don't even want Metroid Prime to deal with Phazon. I actually don't want Metroid Prime. I've said this for years. I want a Metroid Prime game, but I don't want... Metroid Prime ended with 3. It ended perfect. We destroyed the planet Phase. It's done. The story was about Phazon. It took place between, 2 and 3, right? 1 and 2. 1 and 2 or 2 and 3? 2 is Super. I think 1 and 2. So, yeah, I don't want the game to take place in between there. I want it to actually be Metroid 6. I would love them to be able to say, all right, we made Metroid 6. And then Mercury Steam is going to make Metroid 7, and that'll be in 2D. It's like, I would love that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like, I want something new. It's like, yeah, I want what Prime is a FPA. That's what I want. I just want a new FPA, but I don't need it to be a Prime game. Like, I really want that game to, when it's showing off, to be like Metroid, you know, Metroid Tears of the Kingdom. And people are like, yo, what the fuck is that? What happened to Metroid Prime? Like, look at the game. That is Metroid Prime. It's just not, Prime is dead. There's no more Prime. Like, it's over. Like, what don't you get? Like, if you play that game, you understand what I'm saying. Like, it just doesn't make sense to make a Metroid Prime 4. Like, at all. See your thoughts. Coming soon to a theater near you. Yeah, but oh yeah, the Killzone 2 reference was a throwback. I know I got some while I'm here looking at the chat. I already went through all the topics, so I'm gonna go through the you know the Discord community questions real quick, because I know it's to send a few through there. The first question. Yep, it was Ipster. He said, "Hi there, Red. What up, Ipster?" So he says, you know when people always used to say Nintendo's glory days, golden ages. Well, considering how this gen has gone, can we now count Gen 9 as Nintendo's golden age with the theme parks, movies, and nonstop, referencing to the 16-bit era? Oh, and like he's saying, stop all the references to the 16-bit era. I've been stopped there. You know, on this channel, I always said the Wii was the golden era. It topped the Super Nintendo, whether people wanted to admit it or not, because the Wii encompasses the DS too. You know what I'm saying? And you was getting a lot of stuff. You can say whatever you want, but you got Twilight Princess. You got the two, Wind Waker themed DS Zelda games, which was Phantom Hourglass and the Phantom, I was about to say the Phantom Menace. Holy shit. Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. and you got, Metroid Prime games. You got the trilogy. You did get other M too. Can't knock it. They try to make a 2D one there too. So you got your Mario Galaxies 1 and 2. But yeah, now I would say it is. But that's a good thing. See, like if you're not all about nostalgia, you can see that Nintendo really doesn't have a golden era. Nintendo is just a golden age that you live through. Some might say the sun that shines on them is golden, son. But for real, like even when they was like having they bumps in the roads, you look at it now and it's like, yeah, that was a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? Some people learned valuable lessons, and others, well, they decided to do, PlayStation portables. What was it? What is it called? PlayStation portals? Yeah, they took the wrong message from the Wii U. But nah, they needed something in order to count, as console sales. Remember that we got that on wax. They could delete it all they want. We saw the proof that they were going to count portal sales. And what else was the other thing that they was counting as actual console sold? I forgot. But yeah, these dudes be lying. But anyway, yeah, I think the golden era of Nintendo will be the next one too. And the next one and the next one. Like, you think about it, they didn't even own next level games when they was making Luigi's Mansion and the games that they made for Nintendo, right? They did Punch Out. They did that's something I would love to see. I talked about that again. But now they own that developer, right? So they can make Strikers and stuff. But they could easily take that. Remember, that developer pitched before they were first party. They pitched Metroid to Nintendo. So clearly, next level games, they trying to play with Nintendo IP. I wouldn't be surprised. Like next level games, one day it was like, oh yeah, you know what? They're not making Luigi's Mansion 3. They actually made a 3D Donkey Kong game or something like that. Like somebody gonna do it, goddamn it. But no, I can see next level even being like, oh yeah, they got Star Fox. They got something like that. Like they first party now. They listen, sky's the limit for what they could do. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh no, Wolves Den. Yeah. When the Portal was coming out, literally Circana put out it was like a press release official, and they deleted it instantly, and it said that they were gonna count Portal sales as full PlayStation 5 sales. That's how they were gonna be counted on the MPD, the Circana thing. And I'm like, I don't care whether they claim now that they did or not. Once I saw that, that's what it is. No take backsies. So I don't believe your sales. It's always something like that. You know what I mean? It's like the first party games. All right, that's how much it sold? Cool. Now tell me how much it actually sold from people who went to the store and actually bought it. Or people who actually went on their console and actually downloaded it. And it wasn't handed to them when they went and just bought a PlayStation the month they went and bought it. Because that was the thing that was bundled in at the time. Let me know. Because when you look at the number like that, then you go, oh. So their best stuff sells like a Metroid. Not like a Zelda, not like a Mario, and it's like, yeah, you didn't know? It gets a lot of hoopla on the internet because, well, the internet loves PlayStation. These websites love PlayStation. They're going to foam at the mouth for Naughty Dog's next game, and oh my God. Well, and how many years from now? In like 5 years. But they'll be excited to play the same game that they just played recently again. Yay. The other question Ipsa posted was, I just woke up from a dream where we live in a world where you could trade in digital games. I was talking about that. That's the next step. But you receive store credit reward points in exchange, revoking your license to play a digital game. Maybe 35% back in points. Is that something that would work, or would developers not be willing to take the hit on digital? And also, there was a service where you can request pay to have any digital game printed onto a cart to own physically. Yeah, I don't think that last part would ever happen now because they're moving away from that. But I would have loved to see a world where you could scan your, digital, your physical games and turn them digital. Because, with any physical movie I buy, I could literally scan it with my phone on the Voodoo app and literally get that movie on a discount digitally in the resolution that the DVD is. But then it'll ask you right there, or would you rather pay $2 more and get it in 4K? Games could do that too. They got barcodes. They could do it. but they won't because it's too good. But yeah, I think trading the games, all they got to do is say, listen, whenever you sell, because it's like trade, but they should consider it selling it. Like you're selling your digital goods. So just know you get this much back because the developer gets 10% back automatically. You know, something like that. Like that would be cool. The developer wins. Everybody wins in a way. Even if, I mean, everybody could get a cut. The console manufacturer and the developer, and then you get your funds in order to put towards something else. Like I think that would be mad cool. I don't know. Listen, there's still gonna the digital age is young, and as we move into it 100%, where there's no alternative for physical media, those kind of conversations are gonna have to happen. You seeing lawsuits happen now with Google and Apple because of their stuff and their digital storefronts. You've seen lawsuits with PlayStation, right? Don't PlayStation owe like $9 million or something, like a lawsuit like that because of them not having like sales on digital goods. That was something that happened in the UK or something like that. I remember seeing. But yeah, it's like you're gonna see those lawsuits happen, those conversations happen, and then things change. So it's gonna get good, People just gotta actually let the change happen because people just cry about the old so much. Oh my God, they made it only like I'm just waiting for it, whether it's Xbox or Sony or Nintendo, to be like, yeah, our next console is completely digital. I want to see people cry. I know if it's PlayStation, it's gonna be less crying because they're gonna be quick to accept everything. They already in that position comfortably. You know what I'm saying? They don't gotta assume it at all. So, but then Nintendo fans, I said, yeah, they'll end up just doing the same thing and be like, yeah, because look, they all accepted the fact that they got no actual future ownership, potential ownership of anything. Like you better buy that shit you want now, or you're never gonna be able to own actually a physical version of it. For real, like I actually thought of that when I saw, oh yeah, they're gonna remove Dread. I said, damn, should I buy another copy? In my mind, I was like, yo, because I love the game. Oh, yo, they're gonna remove Tropical Freeze. Damn, I only own it on Wii U. Should I get the Switch version? I think I actually am, just because. You know what I'm saying? Just because. And I'm like, yeah, that's wild. You know what I'm saying? Like that's wild that we in that position. It's like, yeah, in the future, like I get it, you're gonna be able to rent it. So what's the big deal if it's there? I'm not making it a big deal. I'm saying everybody else made it a big deal. Oh, physical, physical, physical until their favorite goes. Then it's mum's the word. You know what I'm saying? All the shit you heard spotted at Xbox during and listen, there was a lot of garbage there. A lot of garbage at the reveal of the Xbox One. But there was a lot of shit now that everybody just accepts right now. That people made big noise about back then. And they doing right now. And they accept it. From all their favorites. And that's what I said. Like you can't really fold when you want to innovate and then the industry like people want to tell you no, don't innovate. Because a lot of the things that people claim, no. What was that Nintendo said? I could go off the Nintendo quote. I remember Nintendo had a quote saying like, people never know what they want until you give it to them. Something along those lines. And that's why we always do something different. Don't just do the same thing. It's easy for us to just make another F-Zero game or something like that, for example. But they want to find the hook. What's the reason to make this one? What's going to be different from the other ones? Because if the other one's in selling, we just making another one of those, then what's the point? And I could understand that. But I always say, yeah, you lived in a world with no online. You put online on it and you make it look like GX today, updated and stuff, like beautiful. Yeah, I think it'll do better than before because it's another game that people can play online. Have a Battle Royale mode. I talked about that for years. Now you got F-099 that exists. This is what I be saying. Like the stuff I talk about when Nintendo exists. Like Mario Odyssey, I talked about in 2013. And now it exists. Like, this is facts. I don't make it up. Like, you could say like, oh yeah, like I said it. I said, listen, the inevitable with Mario is you gonna go into a world, collect a ton of damn, stars, and then you're gonna move on to the next world, collect stars. Maybe you have to come back, but this go in and then load and then go in. This shit is bad game design by 2013 standards. I literally said that in the video. And then the two next Mario games that came out. Hell, I could say the three, because Wonder is even open in its design. I was like, yo, they were more open. And they stopped that 1 star, then go back 1 star, and then, yeah, they stopped all that shit. Yeah. But you said I'm a cry bit, but but I'm a dinosaur. Nah, we all gonna be dinosaurs when this happens. We all not gonna want to accept it, but it's just a reality. It's like we all like who you gonna be, the old man yelling at the crowd, or you gonna be the person who's just gonna be playing video games? Like, come on, like you're gonna play video games, you know? Stop. But anyway, yeah, man. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Because I feel like I covered a lot. This is going now on 2 hours. This was a pretty damn good episode. So far, I noticed each podcast got longer than the other, and I didn't even mean to do that. But yeah, I'll make sure to keep this gameplay and continue. Because I did play a ton of it. I said I played like 3 hours. We just went through what was this, an hour and 25 minutes. But I know the Kraid fight is about to come up too. It's a crazy, crazy fight. Can't wait for Prince of Persia. More and more goodness like this. I want them now to do Castlevania. I'm not lying. Like, it's crazy that, Konami, fuck, they suck. Damn, man. Konami got so much, a treasure trove of IP. But they just suck right now. And I want them to not suck. Like, it's crazy. Like, Castlevania should be in this conversation right now. And I just thought about it. Like, who's making fucking Castlevania? Who's going to be able to do it? Mercury Steam? That'd be crazy if they was like, yeah, we working on Castlevania and the next Metroid game. Like, what? That's wild. But hey, do it. But yeah, like I want to see Castlevania, return in this conversation like this. I know we could say, oh, Mega Man 11. Mega Man 11, that you know what it was? Mega Man 11 was too dipped in nostalgia. That's why you see a lot of these games come back and they don't click right because they lean too much on nostalgia. But then you look at Turtles in Time's successor. It was like, oh, it's like Turtles in Time, but it was completely different. You know what I'm saying? Shredder's Revenge. Same thing with Streets of Rage. You know what I'm saying? Like, Streets of Rage, the new one, was amazing. But not because it was like Streets of Rage 1 or 2 or 3. It was because it was a new Streets of Rage game. Seeing that Sega trailer with all those games, I'm like, yeah, those look like new versions. Like, that's a 3D Golden Axe. That's a 3D Power Stone looking Streets of Rage game. That's awesome. And the character models look like from the last Streets of Rage game. So it looks like it's a successor. It's continuing. This is not, oh, Streets of Rage remade. Oh, Golden Axe remade. Like, this is the next thing in those games. That gets me hype, So Mega Man kind of needs that. You said ZX Advent knew where the designs were going, but it was too early. Yeah, like they were updating like those all those X games. Those felt like, yeah, that's the evolution of Mega Man. Even Battle Network felt like that because it was different. It was new. Oh, look at the new costume. Look at the new, way you fight in this game. Like, but then 11 didn't really feel like that. Like, this feels like new Metroid. Prince of Persia feels like new Prince of Persia. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I want something like that for Castlevania. That kind of love and care. And I'm not even gonna lie. I watched the trailer to the Contra game because when I first saw it, I was like, "This don't look all that." But then looking at it now, I was like, you know what? It doesn't look bad at all. Like, obviously, it's going for the look of the old game. But when you actually look at it, it looks cool. And I'm like, you know what? I'm open to giving that game a chance. I just wanted to review well. Anything in the eights and up is good. Like, just review well. I think there's potential there because I think that's Way Forward making that game. And Way Forward, they actually make really good games. So I got faith. Oh man, you said Prince took the Belmont title. It seems that's true. All right, so you said, do you think the floaty movement for Samus can never be updated? Well, the movement in this game is not as floaty as in Super, because Super was a problem. Like, now when you go back, I know people say, "Oh no, Super still feels perfect today to play." I'm like, no, it doesn't. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say that with a straight face. Like, oh yeah, it still feel like you can't even grab on ledge. Like, Samus just there right there. Like, it doesn't. No wall, bouncing off walls or nothing like that. And people are like, oh yeah, that's why they should remake it. I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, it's there. It's playable still. I won't say it's not playable. Mario 64 is playable. Banjo, which you saw, I just played that on the last podcast. I was playing Banjo there. And I wanted to play Banjo because I haven't played Banjo since the 64, the year that game came out. And I said, I want to see if I like it more now. And I'm like, yeah, I still don't love this game. Like the opening of that game, everything. But I'm like even more or less now because it just feels so slow, stiff. It's like we in the world where now your 3D platform is like you play Kirby. Look how you can move around in that game. Look how you can move in Mario Odyssey. Like look how you can move in Bowser's Fury. Like I was like, yeah, this like people are, oh yeah, remake the first game. Nah, just make a new one in the style of game it is with all the know-how that you've seen from Galaxy games and from Odyssey and even new Super Lucky's Tale. Like I think that developer would do a 10 out of 10 Banjo game. I think they'll make a better Banjo game than any other Rare ones. For real. Like if they said, "Oh, who could make that team or Rare?" I would pick the new Super Lucky Tales team. And I know most people would pick Rare because again, nostalgia. Even though Rare hasn't made a game like that in forever. And it's like, nah, I want Rare to make what they make, and I want them to get Everwild out. Everwild looks great. Hopefully, it could become something and actually be great. So the art style is there, but I want them to do that. I think the team that made new Super Lucky Tail. I think other than 3D Mario team, they've been the one who made the best 3D platformer I've played because I found it way better than what was it called? Ukulele. Ukulele, the first one. I really didn't like that game at all. So yeah. Uh, oh, you said you said Banjo gameplay looked ironically more like Spyro. It did. It really did. And like all the little things to collect, and then the shape in order to go. Like you got to find the puzzle piece in order to go into the actual levels and all that. I was like, yeah, this is all that old game design that is just like chores, work. Like nobody wants that. I just want to jump, man. I just want to platform. Oh, I just saw what I did there. I just want to jump, man. And it's like that. That's what Nintendo learned with their platformers. Like after Galaxy, no, after Galaxy, after Sunshine, they learned. They said, oh, people just want to do the jumping part. It's like, yeah, that's what you're doing, Mario. The power ups are there to benefit the jumping. We don't want to do all this other dumb shit of stopping and cleaning. Like, when did you ever do that? That's why that didn't work. Because it's just not Mario. It's not the fun element that you look for in a platformer. The name of the game is jump, man. And so they was like, oh yeah, look, we got all these little jumping sections. Then that became basically Galaxy, and it was just all about platforming. And then people was really mad. Oh, I want this big open world to explore. Like, and do nothing? Like, I liked having a place to struggle to find my next level. Or they could just be puzzles within the levels. Like in Galaxy and Odyssey and stuff like that. Like, it's weird. But yeah, there's too many, new platformers in order to look back at old Banjo games. Like, for real. If somebody was making a new Banjo game today, I would be, and Banjo fans will hate me for saying this, but I would say, look, I want you to play that game so you can know what it is that we make, and you can know the characters, you could get the tone of the comedy of that game, even though we're not following that tone, because that shit is old. That's when games didn't even have dialogue. Like, we trying to actually get Chris Pratt in this motherfucker to play Mario. Like, what? Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, we trying to get actual actors. Like, this is a new age. So just get the bit of the tone of it, and then play Mario Galaxy 3D World, Bowser's Fury, Odyssey, and play those games a lot. Those, not Banjo games a lot. Play those games a lot. Why? Because we got to make a game as good as those or try to be better than those in order for Banjo to even, work in 2026 or something. Think about that. Like, it's going to take a minute for them to come out with if they start making it. If they started even a year ago, it's going to probably be like 2027 or something like that. And it's like, yeah, I don't want them. I really don't want a remake of a Banjo. Imagine waiting all this time just for them to remake it, like an old Banjo game. It's like, nah, make a whole new thing. Oh, we're about to get to the Crave fight, so I'll wrap up this podcast after that. And that's not even a knock. Like, I don't know. Like it's the same thing. If it's like, yo, you gonna make a Metroid game? I'm not telling you. Like, people be like, oh, go play Super Metroid. It's the best one ever. I'm gonna tell you. Go play Hollow Knight. I'm gonna tell you go play Guacamelee. 1 and 2. I'm gonna tell you go play uh, Metroid Dread, and it's looking like go play Prince of Persia. Play that. You don't need to play Super Metroid because anything that you could find in Super Metroid that's great, worth bringing over, it's in these games already. So you'll find it. You're not gonna miss nothing. That shit didn't do nothing that these games isn't doing right now and doing it better. And that's not a knock. It's just the reality of what it is. But if you was making that game, you still got to tell a person, yo. But yeah, you still if let's say you wasn't making, you never played a Metroid game, now you still play Metroid, so you know what you're making at the end of the day. Because these other games don't got, Guacamelee got the chicken, Axiom Verge got little items that are like the morph ball, but the morph ball is the morph ball. The screw attack is the screw attack. The speed boots is the speed boots. There's only one Craig. Nah. Well, actually, there's more now if you look at it, think about it. But yeah, this fight is crazy, and this fight is so classic 2D, just good stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to see what these. That's the crazy part. The demo didn't let you see what the boss fights are gonna be like, and I'm not mad at that. It's like I didn't want to play it there, even though I did. I'm like, you know what? I'd rather play it in the actual game and experience it there. The first fight is absolutely wow that this game exists. I'm not gonna lie, yo. I be thinking about this game sometimes. That's why I played it. And I was like, you know what? Let me play this because I want to. I'm gonna just play what I want right now. So, like, I can't believe that this game exists because I used to think about Metroid like this with Samus moving like she does in the Prime cinematics and the Dread cinematics, like Samus that's truly acrobatic in the gameplay and all that. So she's like that in the gameplay, but then the actual cinematics are crazy, like crazy. Game is fire. And to think, if this game is really delisted, right, and this is not a situation where it's like, oh no, they just ran out and they're gonna print more. It's like, I know the eShop is there, but it's like, damn, if somebody only gets games physical, it's like, damn, so they can't get this? They can't buy this game, they can't buy Link's Awakening, they can't buy Tropical Freeze. These are literally the body of work of the Switch. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy to get rid of those games before the system is even done. But I guess the system is done. We about to see that, and that NX2 reveal. Crazy. I forgot. I'm playing this and I'm looking at it. I forgot that you had the little combo right here when Kraid swings. That you could, hit it, the yellow little ka-chwing. Also, the last time I played this, I did it with with the the power bombs. I had did the whole, get the power bombs early on hard mode. So this fight was a cakewalk. But it's still cool that they designed it like that. The game was designed with things that people did in Super Metroid and previous Metroid game, Prime games, which was basically, break things and go and do things out of order. The games weren't designed like that in the past, but Metroid developers understood this is something that they look for, that they do. So they actually baked it into the actual game. So whenever you did break this game, they probably played through the game 1,000 times and said, this is where you're going to break the game and get things out of order. All right, cool. So then what happens when you do that? And they built stuff for that. And I was like, yeah, they thought of everything. That's fire. And that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, Mercury Steam, I don't know what Nintendo waiting for. I buy them up so fast. In a world where Microsoft is buying everything, I'm just like, yo, you bought next level games? Open the bank again and get Mercury Steam. I know Mercury Steam right now is developing the third-party game because it says it on their website. But, yeah, after that, I think they should be bought. Like, if they make a Metroid game this good, I think they could do any 2D Nintendo game. Tropical, Free, sequel, all of that. But, yeah, the speed boost is crazy. Shine Spark is crazy, too. Yep. Samus' ability is crazy. That's why, listen, I know I'm biased, but... And listen, I love me some Doomslayer, and I love me some Master Chief too, but I think they would get wrecked by Samus. Like, that's what I said. I think Samus would kill Master Chief in Zero Suit mode, and I think for Doomslayer she would need the suit because Doomslayer is kind of goddamn crazy. But yeah, Samus is just a beast. But remember, Samus is also alien, which you could say the same thing about. Doomslayer is a god, and Master Chief is kind of alien too, right? Because he's like. He's genetically enhanced, but I look at him more like Captain America, where Samus is a little bit more beyond that. Like Samus got taller, was the Spartans are taller too. See, they got similarities, But Samus is like Chozo, so she could use all these Chozo. That's how she uses all this equipment. All this shit is made by Chozo. That's how she could, work everything, and everything is built and designed for the morph ball and stuff. Because in theory, that's the way the Chozos, moved around and did their thing. And you see their armor; it kind of does look like Samus's armor. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode of an Xbox podcast. I thought this one was really well rounded, even though there's not a lot of Nintendo news out there. That's the thing. I keep thinking like every time I'm about to record these, like, yo, there's nothing out there really for Nintendo until this next console get revealed. There's only so many times I could come on here and be like, oh, I predict that the console will be like, what can I say? Like, I've already said everything. I think it's coming out this year. And now in this podcast, I said, I think honestly, the next official full blown direct is probably gonna be it, where we see it. I don't even think the Switch gets another direct that's dedicated to it, unless it's like a specific game dedicated one, like a Paper Mario direct or a Peach direct or a indie direct. I don't think they doing a full blown Nintendo, reveal big things show. I'm struggling right here. All right. Let's see. Let's get that. All right, there you go. I was struggling to get up there. But yeah, thanks for everybody who tuned in. Shout out to JViz64 Wolves then, who stood through the whole thing. I appreciate it. Dark Sun Rider, who I know you had a blast when you went to AEW Dynamite this past week. I'm actually about to watch a Rampage right now on the replay. And yeah, Ipster. Shout out to everyone who tuned in, and I'll see y'all basically on the next one. I don't know. I probably will do another one between now and the showcase, but a part of me feels like, what's left to say? Might as well just wait till the showcase. The showcase is on. I got the streamer. It's on Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. It's in the thumbnail of this goddamn podcast, yo. Like, look at the thumbnail. I can't even see that shit. It's so small right now. Let me actually look at the actual video I posted. I think I can see it there. Not even. It don't matter. I know it's next week. It's already up there. Hold on. I want to see now. Because I'm like, yo, I didn't even say the date. But let's be honest. We all know the date already. The next one. And the crazy part is they did the Game Awards. Now they got this, the developer direct. I'm like, when's the next one gonna be? When's the next one gonna be? Probably right around the corner. Yeah, the 18th. The 18th, isn't that that's on Thursday. I thought it was a Wednesday, Thursday. Damn, we gotta wait even longer. That's basically a week away. I know it's one day less, but that's nah. It's cool. It's cool because the anticipation gets to build. People could get more and more salty about it, and then yeah, it's gonna hit, and it should be great. People are already debating and making up their hate scenarios. Like, oh yeah, if it's first person, we're gonna shit on it for being first person. Oh, another first person game on Xbox. If it's third person, we're gonna shit on it if it doesn't look as good as Last of Us, or something like that. Like they preparing. And I'm just like, I don't care, because we'll actually have new games to play this year. At the end of the day, people can make fun of Redfall, but I'm gonna say at least they have games like Redfall coming out, let's say, to miss with, because they got so many games where they had, oh, this one hit, oh, they had a miss. But that developer, guess what? They got put right back on to another game. They making something else. They didn't get fired. They didn't get, oh yeah, y'all shut down because y'all made a flop. Nah, they didn't do none of that. So at the end of the day, you could clown it, but is it really, like something worth clowning like that when the other option is basically is yeah, everybody just get dumped. You never see anything from that team again, because that team, they already said they went through mad shit. They lost developers when they decided to switch to that kind of game. So yeah, now they're going back to their single player roots probably, and yeah, they'll probably make a good game again, and it's not like Arcane don't got other stuff. Obviously, Blade. So that's just one team in Arcane, and that's the thing. They got multiple teams within all of these teams. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be a crazy, crazy year, and it's gonna be a crazy next few days until this show. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up now. Thanks for everybody who tuned in, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. Oh, and I never said nothing like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. So I'm saying it now. Peace.